Hello, hello, hello. Hey, wall crawler. Hey, Audacity. Hey, Stella. Yeah. Good morning, Roots. Hey, Tawny. Hey, Abby. Darkstone. Amber. Jots and Tittles, I see you. One Mighty Pen. Hello. I love Twitch as well. Hey, Corey. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment. If you're over on the TikTok side, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin, and we'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Right now, we have the daily goal of the love you so much. If you guys can knock out the love you so much, that will help. It will boost the live, get people in here. Also, just FYI, share the live to your stories and your reposts. Sharing the live to your stories and your reposts is like the most impactful thing that you guys can do as far as drawing people into the FYP, more than sharing it with like a bunch of people, right? Because spam sharing hurts the live, so we don't want to spam share. But reposting to your stories and your FYP actually allows anyone who watches your stories or anyone who stumbles across your FYP will see us, and then we can get them in here for some debates. So please, please, please do that. Also, when you send your daily heart me, hello. When you send your daily heart me, right? Or you make comments in the comment section, make sure that you actually go in and claim your points. Abigail, good morning. Yeah, I see. It's funny. I know Europe's going through a heat wave, but it's super interesting how certain places and spaces and areas or whatever, they're not prepared for that type of heat. I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina. And so like that type of heat is normal to me. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. Like it's a thing, right? But then also, like I live on the West Coast now. I live in Washington State, right? And for people that may not know, or even people that are outside of the US, Washington State is called the Evergreen State, right? And it's called the Evergreen State because it's literally a state that, it's a lot of water. There's mountains. There's, a couple of beaches or whatever, but it gets a lot of rain. It's really, really green. And so the state overall is cool, right? So it hasn't been like historically a hot place, but due to global warming, it's been experiencing heat waves and things like that. And it's not ready for it because there's a lot of places here that don't have central air, right? And so since they don't have central air, I mean, because it was a time, even like 20 years ago, instead of actually having air conditioning, people could just open their doors. But now, global warming and all this other stuff has caused it and necessitated for people to have AC. And a lot of places here don't have it. So it's super interesting to see people in the Pacific Northwest deal with this type of heat, just like it's super interesting to see people in Europe deal with this heat wave. So anyway, guys, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin, and we'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment with some debates. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to the little 1 cent gift goal. If you guys can continue to knock those out, it'll help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. It's to love you so much. Share the live to your stories, repost it to your FYP, send your daily heart me, go in and claim all your claim your points. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, right? Hit that thumbs up. We should have as many thumbs up as we have people watching. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Let's go.
Yeah, funny how it changed now. Same people that laughed at clips, studying the clips now. Everybody got opinions till the facts land. Everybody loud till they gotta take a stand. Every stream feel like somebody betting they pride. I seen fake scholars fold in real time. Now they screenshot takes, run around and remix it, and pull up thinking somehow they can fix it. Nah, you stepped in the wrong room, donut. This ain't rage bait, this pressure. Patriarchy, race, class, labor, healthcare. I don't do surface level, I peel layers. And every time they think they got me cornered, numbers go higher. Chat flyer mods working, crowd waiting. Somebody finna get cooked tonight.
Welcome to the ring now.
Yeah, talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down.
Welcome to the ring now.
Yeah, got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah, welcome to the ring now. You ain't built for this smoke. Y'all slap nuts, ain't got milk for these oats. Donuts, so pipe down. Yeah, you might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. I don't debate for applause, I debate for the record. Every false claim get dissected and severed. You rehearse outrage, I study the structure. Difference between noise and somebody with substance. You quote tweets, I quote policy. You want moments, I want honesty. You want ego boost and virality. I want mutual aid from the communities. That's the difference between you and me. See the problem? Different type timing. You came for clips, I came for alignment. Capital this, socialism that. Half these dudes can't define what they yelling in caps. Talking about free market while wages collapse. I watch your pivot arrive, I make it visible live. But this ain't never gonna be a place where evidence dies. He came all the way to be Santana for internet rep, while the whole chat waiting to see who got checked. Next,
welcome to the ring now.
Yeah, talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down.
Welcome to the
ring now. Yeah, got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah, welcome to the ring now. You ain't built for this smoke.
Y'all slap nuts.
Ain't got milk for these oats.
Donuts.
So pipe down. Pipe down. You might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. Yeah. Welcome to Sparring with Santana.
Welcome.
Bring your sources,
please,
or bring excuses, whatever.
More than likely.
Matter either way. You're about to get cooked. You should know who I am by now.
Hey.
What?
Guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hey, Billy 90210-B, who was spamming like the F drug in the YouTube chat. YouTube isn't the same as TikTok. You spamming drug names don't do anything except make you look stupid, you donut. Like, you guys are so stupid. You don't even know how to, like, you're so stupid. You don't even know how to be destructive. Anyway, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Let's see here. Howdy, partner.
Santana, what are you crying about today,
hi.
buddy?
Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, of course I am. That's why I'm requesting up, man.
Okay. All right. Yes, you're a Trump supporter.
It says
yes,
Iran war up there on your prompt. It says Iran war, us lost. You should put.
Hey.
You see where it says us lost?
Hey, seriously. If you're gonna do like the whole, like crashing thing, I'll just move on. Seriously. If you're not here,
I'm trying to help you out, bro.
If you're not here to actually have a debate and like be a normal person, then I'm just gonna kick you. I'm dead serious. I don't want to, whatever the weird stuff.
You to have a debate, bud.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. I promise you, I'm not interested in like whatever manic approach that people plan on taking. I legitimately want to have a debate, and I want to be calm, and I want to talk to people. But even more than that, like I have some really, really exciting stuff that I want to share with my community and things that I've been learning. And so if, you guys can't actually have impulse control, I don't have to talk to you. I would much rather just talk to my community. So like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hoodlum, you can get out of the request. There's no way in hell that I would ever bring you in. I don't understand why you keep trying. Hi. I'm sorry. Carprello? I apologize for messing up your name. Over on YouTube, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Absolutely a Trump supporter.
Okay, and I apologize. How am I supposed to say that? I know I messed that up. I apologize.
You said it right. Caprello.
Caprello.
However
okay.
you want to say it.
Okay, perfect. Caprello. And you said that you're a Trump supporter. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put you over on the TikTok screen so people can see you. Yes. Can you hear me? Caprello, are you still there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was saying, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put you over on the YouTube screen so people can see you, and then we'll hit this quick introduction, and then you and I can get going, okay?
Let's do it.
Perfect. Thank you. One moment. Hey, guys, if you don't mind, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the love you so much. Can we please knock that out? Can we please knock out the love you so much? It's the daily gift goal. If we can continue to knock out the daily gift goal, it'll help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. It'll get more people in here. It'll protect the live. So please do all the wonderful things. Let me get this set here. Boom. All right, there we go. All right, so I got you all set over on TikTok. I'm gonna hit this quick introduction for anyone who may not know who I am or what this is. Guys, let's get after it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Also, if you would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Like, holy fucking shit. Susan started this live off with a bang and sent a $60 donation. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Susan. Susan said, happy Sunday. Love your community. Thanks for all that you do. Susan, holy crap. I just clicked over and saw that. Wow. Thank you. Massive W's in the chat for Susan. That is fucking amazing. I appreciate the hell out of you. W's in the chat for Susan. W's in the chat for Tiffany for sending out a YouTube membership subscription over on YouTube. W's in the chat for Eugene for becoming a YouTube late night tuber. W's in the chat for Manders, who resubscribed over on Twitch with their their Amazon Prime. W's in the chat for everyone. You guys are fucking awesome. All right. Charpello, I apologize. Floor is yours. Do you want to tell me, is there something specific on the background that you disagree with that you would like to start with? Or would you like to tell me why today, June 28, 2026, you still support Donald Timothy Trump?
I just don't agree with the white privilege thing.
Okay. All right. So the white privilege slash white supremacy, two sides of the same coin, two birds of the same, two wings of the same bird. You don't agree with that. Do you not agree with it in the sense of saying that they're not directly connected? Or are you saying like you don't agree that white privilege exists? What exactly are you referring to?
I just think black people are out there buying lately.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that has to do with white privilege, talking about black people. So I'm going to try one more time. Are you saying that you don't think that white privilege and white supremacy is connected? Or are you saying that you don't think white privilege exists?
That don't exist. There's no such thing as white privilege.
Okay. All right. So you don't think white privilege exists. Now I have a question for you. I have a question for you. And I just want to make sure that you know before I throw this question at you. If you're premise is you don't know what it is, and like you say, oh, I don't know what it is because it quote unquote doesn't exist, and you can't engage from there, then I'm just gonna let you know, like, you and I can't talk. But the question I have for you is, what is white privilege, to your best understanding?
I think it's just an excuse for black people to bitch more. Because I live in New Orleans. I've been around black people.
You keep talking about black people, and I'm confused as far as what black people have to do with white privilege. Let's try it one more time.
You put up there white privilege. So
yes.
I'm letting it be known that's bullshit.
I hear you,
black
but
privilege,
you seem like
anything.
1 second. I muted you because I really want to keep this thing on track. We can get into all like the other stuff, but I really need to know, to your understanding, what is white privilege? Just sent your request to unmute. I don't want to mute you either, please. But we can't talk over each other because they can't hear us.
I just told you, there's black people that just complain and bitch about more shit.
Okay, so again, white privilege has nothing to do with black people. So one last time, and if you don't know, it's fine. You can just say you don't know and I'll tell you, but to your best understanding, what is white privilege?
Hello?
Yep, still here. Can you hear me?
What the fuck?
We can hear you. Guys, you can still hear him, correct?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I just told you the reason, bro.
Can you hear me?
You making a claim? White privilege is a thing.
Again, can you hear anything that I'm saying?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. It's lagging, but I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, one second.
Yeah,
instead of trying to talk through the lag.
You might claim there's white privilege, but I'm white. Yes, hello.
Yeah, instead of trying to talk through the lag, just drop out and come back. I'll bring you right back up. Just drop out and come right back, and I'll bring you right back up, because apparently, like, you can't hear me. There's a really bad lag. You might need to check your Wi-Fi, but I'll bring you right back in. Guys, again, like, I really want to have these conversations, and I'm not interested in like the unproductive dialogue today. So if people are just here to like whine and complain and say black people bad, I have no interest in that. All right. I mean, we can have a conversation around black people if necessary, but the thing that you guys don't seem to understand is like, well, black people do this is not a defense to the argument or the point that we have in place. So if your only argument is, well, black people, then you're not debating the topic. You're literally just trying to absolve white people from whatever the claim is. And we can talk about the claim, but that's not how you defeat the claim, by talking about other people. All right, welcome back. Can you hear me okay now? Welcome back. Can you hear me okay now? Carpello? Okay. Must be his Wi-Fi. Anywho, we'll try a different way. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
We are Charlie Kirk.
Okay, I'm blocking.
But
I legitimately don't I don't enjoy trolls, and you guys aren't funny. And especially for the people that come up here doing that follow me, I am blocking you. Like I don't understand what you guys think this is, or why you guys don't understand or respect boundaries, but like I refuse. Like I don't understand why people can't function as like normal humans within society. The internet has warped people's minds to the point that they don't even know how to engage as a real person. And it's super interesting. It's sad, but it's super interesting. And if you can't engage as like a real person, then I refuse to actually engage with you. I'm not going to do that. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Hi. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I honestly agree with everything that you have to say.
Okay. But are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, I'm not a Trump supporter.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to drop you down. We're only looking for some debates, guys. Please, please, please respect the boundaries of the live. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly and you want to get a message across, you can always drop it in the chat. I read the chat all the time. If it's important, you can try to get it to one of the mods. And if it's really important, the mods will get it to me. Or if you want to drop something in the pay links, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you want to send it over there, I will read out or answer any questions. But guys, please do not request up just to actually try to get something across, because that's disrespecting the boundaries of the live. I'm really firm with my boundaries and I really care about my boundaries. I understand that a lot of people have a lot of things that they want to say, but I'm not someone that wants to actually get that ball rolling in that direction. We do late nights, right? Late nights is the opportunity for you guys to actually join and share your thoughts on certain things. So that's the place and space for those type of situations. But sparring, please don't do that. Please, please, please respect the boundaries of the live. W's in the chat for Holly for the $5 donation saying second interview update. I got the job starting next week. Let's fucking go, Holly. Guys, W's in the chat for Holly. Holly has been moving along this process as far as trying to get a job for a while. And Holly has been keeping us updated. And Holly officially has the job after the second interview and starts next week. W's in the fucking chat for Holly. That is awesome. That is awesome. W's in the chat for Janelle for the $1 donation saying, hey, Santana. I was wondering if you had any book recommendations. I ordered the 1619 Project, and I want to get the Delectable Negro. As a biracial Black woman, I want to educate myself and my white mother and my white partner. I could definitely give some recommendations, but I literally would defer to Ari. I would literally, if you don't know who Ari is, it's Ari for Education. She's the one that's helped me craft my reading list. She is like not only so much more proficient than myself, but so much more knowledgeable. And she has a reading Discord. So if you have Discord, you can join her actual Discord. You just have to be 21 years of age or older and not a Nazi, and you can join. And they do like all kind of different reading, to grouply reading. She gives away like monthly books as well. As a matter of fact, guys, make sure that you guys send some love over to Ari. And when I say love, I mean hit those pay links, because Ari does like the monthly book giveaway, and she pays out of her pocket, right? She pays that out of her pocket. And she takes those donations that you guys send to her pay links, and she purchased the books, and she gives away a book every month, whether it's like a audio version or a physical book or whatever. And she's so passionate about like reading and book club and everything. And so she's paying for those things out of her own pocket. So make sure that you actually hit those links. Tell her about algorithmization. Holy shit, that's a word. Algorithmization scheme. I don't know what that is. What are you talking about, Noah? I don't know what that is. I'm confused. I don't think I know. Is that a book? I don't know. Anyway, W's in the chat for Jalen for that $1 donation. Yeah, and like I said, if you want to actually one book I would absolutely recommend that I thought was it was just awesome. And I just finished reading it not too long ago, was Freedom is a Constant Struggle by Angela Davis. I learned a lot there. Again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. It looks like we've had like a super, it's by Jared Saxton. Got it. I'll send it to her directly. And someone was saying, how do you get the link? I think the link's in her link tree. So Ari for Education is her name on YouTube and TikTok. You guys can find her there. And then the link is in her link tree. And like I said, to get into her reading Discord, you just have to be 21 years of age or older and not a Nazi. We've had kind of an interesting start to the live. Let's see if we can get this going in the right direction. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. America has declined. And the reasons I'm pointing directly to the decline of America is for a multitude of reasons. Number one, the Republican Party is the party of destruction. Number two, capitalism has failed. It's time for socialism. Number three, white privilege and white supremacy are two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird. Number four, the Iran war, we lost, give it up. And it looks like that's starting to crank back up. And number five, if you are FBA or BLAGA, if you're a foundational Black American, Black MAGA, Black Republican, anything like that, you're just ashamed of being Black. So only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We'll try Capella one more time. I see you're back. Hi, can you hear me now?
Was good.
Okay. All right. Everything is working correctly now?
Yeah, sorry, I got a call.
Okay, no worries. One more time, and like I said, I mean, we can at some point talk about Black people. That's fine. If you want to, we can really get into it. But yeah, the question I have is specific, and if you don't know, then you can just say you don't know, and it'll help us move the dialogue forward. But my question is, to your best of knowledge, what is white privilege?
It's the accusation that white people are bad and they control society and Black people and control money and all these things. Okay. No. See, and that's why I always start with that question, because a lot of people don't actually know what white privilege is. And a lot of people assume that like white privilege is saying that people are vilifying white people or saying they're like bad and da-da-da-da-da. That's not it at all. So white privilege is the ability to move through society without the additional barrier of race. That means that you may still deal with the normal issues that every person deals with, including it doesn't guarantee like you're going to be rich or you're going to be powerful. It gives like none of those actual assurances. It just assures that since you are white, that you don't have to deal with those additional things because of you being white. So it's just the ability to move through society with society conforming around you due to being white, not any type of like, oh, I get everything. Did he leave? I know you still see him here, but he's left the actual system. It's just like his actual screen tag is just hanging out there, but he's gone. His screen tag is gone. I mean, his screen tag is hanging out, but he just left the live. What are we doing this morning, guys? What are we doing? Yeah, I don't think he liked the answer either. That's the interesting thing about like when I start talking about white privilege. A lot of people want to come up because, again, that's why he tried so hard to lean into the Black people bad, right? He wanted to do Black people bad and say, oh, Black people are just complaining and blaming white people and da-da-da-da-da. And when I actually broke down the fact that this has nothing to do with Black people, two, this isn't even saying white people bad. Like that went against his entire narrative, and then he didn't have anything else. So, oh well. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates.
Yeah, how about Chud the Builder and his white privilege, huh? With the court, with the $1 million bail. Yo, with the $1 million.
Hey, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm letting you know right now. I'm not interested in yelling. I'm not interested in like the weird stuff. So please just answer the question first, and let's have an actual, just normal conversation. If you came here to shout and yell and just like crash in, I'm just going to move on. So please don't do that. Sent your request to come off mute. Are you a Trump supporter and disagree with something on the background?
Yes, sir. I voted for Trump.
Okay.
And I disagree with the white privilege. That's, just look at Chud and Trump and Republican and not the party of destruction. Trump is a mogger. He's mogging you. You surviving off his good name and with your malicious insults and smears. And that's why you get no people coming up here no more, because we had it. And I live in Oakland. I've seen the damn In-N-Out Burger go away from criminality in the parking lot. Man, come on, man. Under Trump, we know what the Democrat state looks like. All the way from Seattle to San Diego is Democrat state, man. And look.
Hey, I'm muting you again. Do you want to have a conversation, or did you literally just come up to like spam as like all the words that you know? I'm being really serious right now. Like, either actually engage in a direct conversation or leave. I'm serious when I say this. I don't want to get loud. I don't want to yell. I don't want to call names. Please stop it and engage like a normal person.
All right, let's do white privilege.
Okay. Can you tell me why you disagree with the actual point of white privilege / white supremacy is the two sides of the same coin?
Yeah, because with the current events, with everything that happened in Minnesota with the Somali pirates in the Lyrian Center, and then the health offices they all found in California with
none of those things have to do with white privilege. Please speak directly to the prompt.
Yeah, when it comes to court sentencing, Chris Anthony, man, that kid. He didn't get no white privilege. Okay. He lost his life.
Sure. Did you hear my last explanation to the previous guy as far as what white privilege is, or do you want me to repeat that so you have an understanding of what it actually is?
Yeah, please repeat, please.
Okay. So white privilege does not absolve you from the struggles of life. White privilege just ensures that you don't face said struggles of life due to being white. It's the ability to move through society without the additional barriers of race. So it does not guarantee that you're not going to go to jail, or that you're going to be rich, or that you're going to be powerful. It just guarantees that since you are white, that you won't have to deal with those issues because you're white.
Well, I don't know, man. Everything's against the white person now again.
Can you tell me something specifically that's against white people?
Yeah, go look at the DEI hiring practices, which is and who they're accepting into places like Harvard and Stanford. They got the DEI. Yeah,
we can talk about that. So first, let's start with what is quote unquote DEI?
Diversity. It means die white people.
Okay. But would you like to actually tell me what it means?
Diversity, exclusion, insanity. That's what it means to me.
Okay. One more time. Like a normal person, can you tell me what it means?
What is it? To the lefty, it means diversity, equity, inclusion. That's what they think.
Okay, perfect. Yes, quote unquote DEI stands for diversity, equity, inclusion. What is it actually? Like what's the function? What is it supposed to do, please?
Exclude white people. Okay. Specifically white men.
Okay. Do you know what DEIA is?
No.
Okay. So DEIA is diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. And the reason why you don't know what DEIA is, but you've heard DEI, is because there has been a consistent effort to try to remove the effects that are, or the benefits for those people with disabilities. The A is for people that have disabilities. And so that's why you hear. Okay, I'm gonna finish telling you though. Okay, so people look to marginalize people with disabilities and remove that A in DEIA so they can actually weaponize the term quote unquote DEI and say that, oh, it's for Black people just to get something that they didn't earn, which that has nothing to do with quote unquote DEI or DEIA, DEI is just a weaponization of a term. It has an etymology. Do you know what etymology means?
Yeah, the history of the word.
Yes. So with DEI, before they were saying DEI, they were saying CRT, critical race theory. Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And before critical race theory, they were using the term BLM, Black Lives Matter. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, that was a hoax.
Okay, yeah. And before the BLM, Black Lives Matter, they were using the term thug. Have you ever heard someone say, oh, they're thugs?
Yeah, that was Tupac.
And before they used the term thug, they used the word boy. Have you heard when people used to say, hey, boy, talking to an actual grown adult?
I don't know, man. No.
Oh, you knew all the other ones, but yeah. Before thug, they used the word boy, and before they used the word boy, they used the N word. So, FYI, the reason why you're hyper fixated on DEI and people keep pushing the quote unquote DEI instead of talking about DEIA is just because they want to say the N word in public, but they can't do that anymore because of vilification of what happens if they are openly calling Black people the N word. That's all it is.
It's using this N word in every damn rap song on the planet, man. That's a special privilege right there. There ain't no First Amendment.
I'm talking about white people and their want to actually use weaponization towards Black people. That's why they focus on Black people when they talk about quote unquote DEI. And they always say like, oh, that was a DEI candidate talking about Kamala Harris, or DEI pilots, or it's always Black people that they're talking about when they say DEI. Now, we can talk about what DEI
back in Los Angeles, man. That was rigged, man. Go ahead.
We can talk about what DEIA actually is, right? So DEIA, first and foremost, I want to start here because you made a false claim as far as like hiring practices or what they put in school. Can you name one piece of legislation passed by the United States government that implemented DEIA?
Yeah, with the when you go to look for a job at the post office, they say we're looking to hire Blacks and marginalized and
Black
women
people
and disabled.
Black people. That's not the question. I want you to listen to the question one more time.
That's a federal agency.
I want you to listen to the question one more time. Okay. Can you name one law signed in, I'm sorry, can you name one piece of legislation signed into law that implemented DEIA?
No, they got it. They got the temporary foreign working the H-1B. That's what that is pretty much. It's
H-1B1, H-1B1 visa and H-2B2 visa. Those are not quote unquote DEIA. Those only have to deal with those workers that we need to get into the country, and it gives them a visa so they can actually get into the country. That has nothing to do.
That's a dressed up DEI, man.
That's not.
And they taking a jobs from Americans.
It's fine. It's literally not. The reason why they're brought in is because we don't have Americans to fill those jobs. You're confused, but it's fine. Please stop bouncing around and focus of where we are.
That's why we're having little enclaves of Islam in Texas.
Can you stop spamming random words? Hey, I am being very polite and I'm trying to be very calm. Can you please knock it off?
Who?
You. Please knock it off. As far as DEIA, there's no legislation that has been passed that implements DEIA. That's not a thing. Not at all. Now, when it comes to what you were referring to when you were talking about like the colleges and stuff, that was affirmative action. Affirmative action was absolutely something that was enshrined into law, and the Supreme Court struck it down. So affirmative action is not a thing anymore. And also affirmative action is not DEIA. A lot of people conflate the two because they don't know what the difference is. But affirmative action is a quota-based system that guarantees representation. But that's not what DEIA is. So do we understand that point?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So DEIA is something that is removing the biases that cause people to lean on certain things like race, lean on certain things like whether someone's able body, and they discriminate against people that don't fall in those groupings based off of immutable characteristics. DEIA is removing all of those biases and allowing the best people to move forward. It's literally a merit-based system. Have you ever heard of a blind resume?
Yeah, I heard people putting their name John Jeet Singh on resumes and getting callbacks. And with the English names, they don't get nothing.
The question is, have you ever heard of a blind resume?
No, sir.
Okay. So a blind resume is when all distinctive characteristics are removed from a resume, and it's just the actual experience and the pertinent information for people to make a decision. And so a blind resume will remove names, so people don't know if it's a woman or a man. It'll remove like anything that may lead to like race or religion or anything like that. And so it's literally just saying, hey, this candidate one has all of these things that they can do, and this is their experience. This candidate two has all of these things, and this is their experience. Which one do you want? That's a function of DEIA, right? And so,
hey man, as a disabled white person, I have been excluded from the doctor's office. They don't want nothing to do with me. I go out and try and get a job as security guard. They won't do nothing for me, man. I got to fight against all these imported TF1s and all these H1Bs and taking on the security jobs. That's
literally not how it works. That's literally not how it works. And please stop spamming all the words that you know. DEIA literally is in place for you. You're railing against something that's supposed to help you. You don't understand the difference between the things, and that's why you're getting upset. But I'm telling you, DEIA is literally in place to help you. One of the biggest benefactors of DEIA are people with disabilities. Another huge benefactor of DEIA are white women. So it's not about someone actually like taking away from you. DEIA is literally trying to ensure that you get a fair shake and you're not limited based off of you being disabled. Now, if you want to talk about the H1B1 visas or the H2B2 visas, we can talk about those, but those are completely separate and different than DEIA. Those have nothing to do with DEIA.
Yeah, we know it's an agenda, man, and they shoving this crap down our throats, and with all these slogans.
I need you to confirm that you understand that DEIA has nothing to do with the H1B1 or H2B2 visas. And once you confirm that and you like concede on the DEIA point, if you want to talk about immigrants and those types of visas, we can talk about that. But I need you to say, hey, Santana, I understand now. I agree that those two things are completely different.
Santana, I see the correlation between that being a front for DEI, man. And I can't disconnect the two. It's the way that they implement their DEI policies through the back door, man. This is all connected.
Can you tell me what DEIA policy has been implemented?
It means die white, man. That's what it means.
You keep saying that. Okay. Hey. Who are the two biggest benefactors of DEIA?
Probably some NGOs.
No, I literally just told you. Were you not listening? I literally just told you. Were you not listening? If you didn't,
all the rules, man.
If you didn't, then I will repeat it.
Go ahead.
People with disabilities and white women. Those are the two biggest benefactors of DEIA practices. Do you understand what that means?
Not really.
Okay. So that means that people that get the most return as far as any type of entity dealing or engaging in DEIA practices are white women and people with disabilities. That's who's helped the most by DEIA practices.
I'm a disabled person, man. That ain't my experience, man.
Your experience is not indicative of the whole. Your experience is not indicative of what the data says. And your experience should have you advocating for DEIA. If you're saying that you are excluded, then you should be falling on the side of wanting more DEIA because one, there's no law that was put in place to actually enshrine DEIA. Two, there's no standard practice that everyone has to follow. And three, it's only in place where people that want to participate in DEIA practices. So we should be normalizing DEIA practices and even fighting for the enshrinement of DEIA into law. So people like you are guaranteed protections no matter where you are in our country. Until that happens, people can make the decision whether or not they want to engage in DEIA. And if they're making the decision whether or not they want to engage in DEIA, they're making the decision whether they want to actually disenfranchise you specifically. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it, man, but it's all a front. It's all a ruse. They say this
You
is all
keep
just virtue
saying that, but you
signaling.
don't have any proof.
Yeah, the proof is that the virtue signaling from the left comes with all their crap, all their DEI, all their white supremacy, all their BLM, all this crap.
You're
It's
just
all
spamming words at this point. You're literally just
Because it's
spamming
all
words.
part.
No, it's not.
Yeah, man, we're
It's
sick of this
it's
crap.
literally not. Give me any proof. Any proof. Don't just say, oh, it's just all connected. Give me one piece of tangible proof. Just one, because I have a crap ton of proof that proves that DEIA practices are beneficial to the whole, and companies that engage in DEIA practice are not only more inclusive, but they're more profitable. Companies that actually engage in DEIA practices are better fit for employment and they make more money. Now, can you give me any proof of the things that you're saying?
Yeah, I read between the lines when I go look for a
that's
job.
not
and
proof.
I see this stuff.
That's not proof.
And
That's
basically
not
what it
proof.
says,
That's not
if
proof.
you ain't a pig
That's
hair-
I'm muting you. That's not proof. Proof is, hey, Santana, my proof is the source is the CDC and the title is DEIA hurts white people. Like that's an actual example of proof, not reading between the lines. I just sent you a request to come off mute. Do you actually have proof of your claims?
Yeah, this is my lived experience, man.
Your
This
lived
my
experiences
empirical
is
evidence.
not proof.
And millions of people feel the same way as I
Okay,
do.
your actual feelings is not proof. Do you have proof? Yes or no?
Yeah, there are people when they go apply for a job and they got to hand in their resume, they get no calls back, and then they do some other foreigner name and they get called back. Man,
Hey,
there's all
question
those
for you.
kinds of
What's a blind resume?
I forget what you said, what it is.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
So you're not even retaining the information that I'm sharing with you.
Well,
So
I don't like
if you're not retaining the information that I'm sharing with you, and then you're reverting, going back, saying stuff that I've already talked about, what's the point of me continuing this conversation with you?
I don't know, man. We're
Because
just
it
trying
feels
to find
like
some common ground here.
No, you're not. It feels like you just want to be heard. Like, and I'm being dead ass serious when I say this. It seems like you came up here and you're angry and you want to be heard. And I'm trying to engage in an actual dialogue with you. You came up here from the start just spamming every word that you know. And I've tried to talk to you like an adult, and I've tried to engage with you on a human level. And the only thing that you want to do is revert back to the things that you know or you've seen or how you engage with other people on other lives. This is not other people. This is not other lives. I'm trying to actually connect with you as a human being, but you are either unwilling to listen. You want to get back to whatever safe space that you normally are when you hear things. Like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm telling you, if you're unwilling to retain the things that I'm saying, if you can't track the conversation over a 10-minute span, I'm not going to continue to waste my time. I'm not sure what's happening at this point.
They let all those people over the border from all those different countries and just waltz across the.
Go find somewhere else to yell into the wind. You're not going to do it here. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not with that today. I'm literally not with it. You can go find somewhere else to yell into the wind and let someone just like hear you randomly say all the words you know. I'm not doing that. I'm absolutely not doing that here. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. W's in the chat for Jared for the $25 donation. Thank you. Jared said, MAGA are the gays of men. They hate women. They can't stop talking about gay people, sex lives, and they're calling a makeup wearing queen daddy. Hashtag happy pride. Yeah, like it's so weird. And the weirdest part is no one will blame you or knock you for being gay. Like, just be who you are. It's fucking weird. Debbie's in chat for Chelsea. Thank you so much for the $10 donation, Chelsea. Chelsea sent us a $10 donation. Always enjoy listening while I'm on a call for crisis counseling. Also, this is late, but thank you for the wonderful Juneteenth stream. Chelsea, thank you for the 10. I'm happy to hear that I can keep you company. And I'm really glad you enjoyed the Juneteenth stream. I had so much fun. Debbie's in chat for Anthony for the $1 donation. And Anthony said he sounds broken. No offense. Yeah, like I think he was just, I don't know what it is. And which I understand people want to be heard, but like that's not how you go about it. And legitimately, what I think it is that people are so used to like wanting to be heard and people aren't allowing them to be heard that they just like they lock in and they want to say all the things that they know that they want to say before they get kicked. I think that's literally what it is. People like that will try to get all the stuff in as quickly as possible before they get kicked because they're used to getting kicked. So I don't know, but who's engaging in ableism in the chat? What's happening? What happened, Ari? Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat. What happened?
No, you're good. You're good. I need people to realize real quick, the gentleman admitted he is disabled. You do not know what disability he has. This is not at you, Santana, it's that chat. Y'all do not know what disability he had. And I want y'all to recognize when we're talking about people being targeted intentionally to be propagandized, disabled people are at the top of that list, especially neurodivergent disabled people. Autistic young men, neurodivergent young men are deliberately being targeted by the manosphere because they're just looking for community. By y'all being ableist in the chat, you are feeding them into that pipeline. Just because he did not understand doesn't mean you get to dehumanize.
Correct.
Chill out in the chat.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
No, all good. Thank you for calling. I wasn't looking at the chat, so I didn't see it. So I appreciate it. And it's funny, I looked over and at the same time, I saw your comment. I saw Kay muting people, so I knew it was something going on. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Dang, Ari just left without saying bye? What in the world? Ain't no way. W's in the chat for Sean for the $2 super chat to say, wow, In-N-Out Burger is political now. WTAF. Yeah, like, again, that was like a whole thing. It's all good, Ari. W's in the chat for Trey for the $5 super chat to say, funny how now they're trying to actually give opportunity bases on merit while white men aren't being handed everything now. They think it's unfair, right? Like, that's the wildest part to all of this. I don't know. Anyway, guys, W's in chat for all the donos. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Ripped Unleashed, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, but I do disagree with the FBA or ashamed of being black. Okay.
And just to verify, you are a black man, correct? Yep, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
But perfect. I do not identify as FBA.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you FBA though? Like I don't quote unquote identify, but technically I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So why do you wait? So is this going to be one of those situations where like, oh, I disagree, but I agree in a different way, or you just overall disagree with the premise of people who are FBA or BLAGA are ashamed of being black?
BLAGA most definitely ashamed of being black, but FBA aren't. I feel like that's inherently in the wording of FBA, is to be proud of being Black and American.
Okay. Question for you. What is Black?
Black is a social construct in America that people of African descent are subscribed to.
Sort of, but yeah, it's a social construct, but race. That's what I was trying to get to. So it's a race, but it's also an ethnicity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why FBA is trying to actually exclude other people from the Black diaspora is because they think that if they get some type of exclusion, then it gives them some type of direct access to reparations. The reason why I say they're ashamed of being Black is because Black as a race is multifaceted, right? There's different ethnicities and nationalities within Black. And so when people that claim to be FBA vilify and target, people that are Haitian, people that are from Somalia, people that are from Kenya or Nigeria, or even Black people from the UK, where they openly root for the harm and deportation and disenfranchisement of any other Black people within the United States of America. It's not because they are actually looking for they're not looking for the betterment of the ethnicity of Black people within America. They're just looking for the removal of anyone else that would be connected under the umbrella of Blackness. And that's why I say Black FBA are ashamed of being Black, because they don't want to be connected with the rest of the Black diaspora.
I understand your point. But I'm more of the belief of the nuance that it's actually the opposite way around socially.
Can you explain it to me?
As to where there's not a connection in the sense of people a part of the diaspora outside of America who are Black. Like people who aren't American that don't understand that Black people do have an American culture of our own.
There's no American culture. There's Black absolutely Black culture. Right. There's Black American culture, but there's no American culture. So you're saying that?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I disagree with that. I mean, I think the entire world recognizes Black culture because the entire world has been shaped by Black culture. I mean, if we're going to be honest, the entire world loves Black culture while hating Black people. So you can talk about like Black culture, but Black culture as a whole is widely accepted across the entire globe. Black people just aren't.
It's widely accepted, but when you speak to a lot of foreigners who are Black, they don't view our culture as a culture.
Okay. Like I said, that's just absolutely true. Now, if you're trying to say that there's people within the diaspora that vilify Black culture or, condemn Black people for the lack of, I mean, I think there's a conversation around that, but I think there's an even bigger conversation that has to be had around the separation of the diaspora. Do you know what the Berlin Conference was?
Yeah, that's when they drew up how they were going to portion out Africa amongst European nations.
Yes. Absolutely. It was a concerted effort to actually disconnect the entire continent of Africa, to separate, even though those people were of different nations, of different tribes, in different countries. They wanted to actually separate those people even more and seek control throughout the different European countries. And that effort not only occurred within the Berlin Conference, but predating that effort still exists today, right? The actual necessity to continue to separate the diaspora is a concerted effort to ensure that like Black unity doesn't happen, because if Black unity happens, then the strength that we have as a collective outweighs any type of effort that can be pushed by white supremacy. Like literally Black people fighting amongst Black people within the diaspora about who is or who is not Black is literally uplifting white supremacy. It has nothing to do with staking out individuality. It has everything to do to ensure that we don't unite and fight together as a collective.
And that's why I don't identify as FBA. But you're speaking on a more political side of things. I think if we attack the issues between FBAs and the diaspora on a social level, then a lot of the problematic behaviors of FBAs, because the foundationalism of America inside of the FBA, I get that's where you're coming from with saying they're ashamed of being black. But if we attack that socially, outside of with the non-American black people, then that would be a problem that we would not have.
Yeah, well, so they're tied together, right? Like that's the issue. They're literally the reason why the social issue is occurring is because of politics, right? Question for you. Do you know what the main driver is, the biggest goal for FBA outside of God dang, what's the word called? It starts delineation. Outside of delineation, like what's their number one goal?
The number one goal is for FBA and the nation is to single us out for reparations.
Right, reparations. So reparation being the number one driver. Now, do you know how many black people are currently in the United States of America? And how many black people have been identified as not just like
not formal
black, yeah, but like actual FBA?
50?
Close. Holy smokes. It's 44 million. Really close. Good guess. And so you're talking about a group of 44 million Black Americans that would fall within that category. And you would fall within that actual position of like truly being the people that FBA are trying to reach in order to get reparations for, right? But see, here's the issue. Out of that 44 million people, not everyone agrees with the split within the diaspora. Not everyone agrees with the premise that only Black people that have direct lineage to chattel slavery are, supposed to receive reparations or qualify for reparations, right? Many people like myself who have a greater understanding of like the transatlantic slave trade, the fact that you could talk about like what happened here in the Americas, but if you take a look at the transatlantic slave trade, like a majority of the trade happened to different areas, especially within those Caribbean areas, and then even to South America, where then people, Black people, slaves were transferred from South America to North America, right? And so there's a lot to be said about all of that, but then even more so, it's compounded on the layer of the construction of race, right? The fact that race is not something that separates the fact of whether or not your descendants are people that were enslaved or not, right? Most white people that want to engage in white supremacy and racism, when they look at a Black person, they don't know if they're, Black American. They don't know if they're Black, they're Ethiopian, or they're, from Kenya or Eritrea or Nigeria. They just see a Black person, right? And so the impacts of racism, not only like the way that people try to portray white supremacy and racism, but like the entire system as a whole, right? You being Black and from Kenya in the United States of America does not exclude you from medical racism. It does not exclude you from like educational racism. It may be the way that you approach it, but it doesn't exclude you. So like, I don't believe that we should exclude any Black people from the talks around reparations, but they do.
Oh, then realistically, we could talk about a tier system as a part of how much an individual or a group of people were affected. and for the length of time. But then these are all things that can be compromised in voting and really looking at the issue. I don't have a problem with somebody saying my Nigerian great grandfather came here and he couldn't get a home loan and he married a Nigerian woman and everybody in my family is Nigerian. You still felt the effects of redlining and gerrymandering. So you would actually have a case, but it would be tiered. Because I'm not on the extreme end of being a Black American as to where it's only for us because other Black people were affected.
And which that's the point that I'm getting to as well. Like, I have no issues with the premise as far as like, what does it look like? What levels, like, how does it, I think that's a nuanced conversation that I'm willing to have. The conversation or the point that's a non-starter for me is excluding people that don't fit the description of like, oh, you have a direct lineage of chattel slavery to the Americas. Like, I think that's absolutely harmful. Now, another issue that I have with that is going back to that number that I gave you, right? That 44 million. How many people are in the United States of America approximately?
35. I mean, 350.
Right.
350.
So 350 approximately, and 44 of those 350 are direct, quote unquote, FBA. Now, of course, we understand that even out of the 350 and out of that 44 million, not everyone can vote, right? So not everyone is of voting age. And so that shrinks that 44 million number to a lesser majority, right? The point that I'm trying to get across there as well is a lot of times people who claim to be FBA tend to do so in the premise of like creating some type of voting base or voting power. You often see them siding with the Republican Party in objection of the Democratic Party and saying, well, the Democratic Party is not going to get the Black vote and we're going to vote Republican and all this other stuff. But you're literally, if you want to engage in electoral politics, the stance that they're taking instead of Black unity, where they want to actually delineate, is diluting the possibility of having support through the Black vote. So literally they're working against themselves as far as being able to have enough of a loud voice to influence voting to the point of like making something happen. I know they like to champion the fact that, oh, well, we didn't vote for Kamala Harris and look, she didn't make it into office. That's not a normal situation, right? I think the fact that Kamala Harris had a multitude of things working against her, yes, you can kind of add on the fact that, like, you know, there was a minute shift in Black people willing to vote for Trump over Kamala Harris. But like, there's so many other factors that played a larger factor in Kamala Harris not winning the presidential election versus like FBA not voting for her. I think that the fact that she wouldn't disavow Israel played a larger role. I legitimately think if she would have actually just disavowed Israel, called the genocide a genocide, she would be the president of the United States today. But and no matter what FBA would say, like, that wouldn't have had a bigger impact. So like, they're pretending as if their support of the Republican Party and their separation from the diaspora is creating some type of political power, and it's not.
Just to play devil's advocate, I don't think that FBAs would have went along with her more or less for the sake that she was a prosecutor.
I don't care about that. I don't,
because
like, I'm not saying why they would or wouldn't go against her, go with her. I'm saying that, like, them pretending as if them supporting Donald Trump, or if they would have shifted their vote from Donald Trump to Kamala Harris, would have made enough of an impact for her to be president. I don't think so. I don't think that they make up enough of the voter base of that 2 million people, which was the difference between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, to actually switch the actual votes or put Kamala Harris in office, especially if you take a look at like the swing states that were the most impactful. Right, the presence of quote unquote FBA isn't a presence that was like the biggest thing in Dearborn, Michigan, where a large swath of the base are pro-Palestine, and they like completely disavow Kamala Harris because of that. So like, I think the point that I'm trying to get across is, even if they would have said, you know, oh, we will support or whatever, that's not a thing, because they have not, like, separation when trying to gain political power is never beneficial. You need more people to do the things that you want to do versus less people wanting to do the things you want to do in order to have political power.
And policies that centered around what it is that you need, as well as policies that benefit everyone.
Yeah. Which, let's talk about that, right? So, do you know what happened at the United Nations? I think it was this year. I think it was like February. You know what happened in the United Nations?
When they refused to call the Atlantic slave trade what it really was, address it for the atrocity that it was.
No. They did. They recognized the transatlantic slave trade as the greatest genocide and atrocity in the history of the world.
Yeah.
All right. But you know who brought that initiative to the United Nations?
I don't.
I always mess up the country. Let me make sure I got this right. So it was actually brought for Ghana. It was Ghana. I always want to say Kenya. Ghana. Okay. So the president of Ghana actually brought this forward to the United Nations and brought it to the floor in order to get that recompense and that recognition for Black people, right? And there were only 3 countries that voted no, right? There were 123 countries that voted yes, and 3 countries that voted no, of course, was the United States, Israel, and Argentina, right? But do you know what was happening at the same time as the resolution that was proposed by Ghana was being brought to the floor to recognize the transatlantic slave trade and demand reparations from multiple nations for Black people and the descendants of those slaves?
No, what was happening?
FBA was out front of the UN protesting the actual Ghanaian president being the one bringing the initiative to the United Nations.
Sad.
They were protesting because he wasn't Black American. They were saying that he doesn't speak for us. We refuse to actually accept that this person that's not Black American is coming to the United Nations and trying to advocate for not only the recognition of the transatlantic slave trade, but the advocacy to get reparations, even though they want reparations.
Yeah. And that's like a case of what the old people used to say, cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Absolutely is. The funny thing about all of this, though, is in which I've had this conversation, you can talk about whether or not, like, because their entire premise is we want Black Americans to speak for Black Americans. I hear you. That's actually not even something I disagree with. That's logical. But the premise that they want Black Americans to speak for Black Americans while not having a seat at the table, like you having someone that can actually advocate for you while they have a voice and a seat at the table, in my opinion, is more beneficial than saying like, oh, when we get a seat at the table, then we'll address the issue that we have. Like if you have someone that can be an avatar for you until you do get a seat at the table, then that's actually beneficial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't want that. Now, the other interesting part about them not wanting that is, do you remember how I said like 44 million, there's people that don't necessarily agree, and then it dilutes the actual voter base.
Yeah.
FBA has had no actual structure, right? The people that have been perpetuating the ideology of FBA, and prior to that, like ADOS, have completely stepped aside and say like, oh, I'm not a formal representation of FBA. I'm not a formal representation of ADOS. Like even Tariq Nasheed, right, who has been someone who has copyrighted the term FBA, Foundation of Black American, and has made millions of dollars off of the premise of being quote unquote FBA due to his copyright and his pushing, has openly admitted himself that I'm not the leader of FBA. I'm not the head of FBA. I don't care if people have used other terms or other names or who's in charge. It's not me. But he's absolutely capitalizing off the premise and the ideology of being FBA. So the point that I'm trying to get across is, while people are screaming that they're FBA and they want a seat at the table, there's no structure as far as leadership or organization.
Yeah. And I think that realistically, as far as goals go, like things like in Cobra that are already in place for the study and research and benefit of Black people getting reparations, that's something that's not talked about a lot in FBA circles. And Tariq Nasheed does that, what he does, because he wants the benefit of something without the responsibility.
That's what I'm saying right there. Like literally right there. I had a conversation with one of them and I said, listen, what political power do you hold? What seat at the table have you ever, what politician has given face time to your cause? And none of them can ever say like, this is what we're doing. This is our structure. These are our leaders. This is what we're fighting for. This is how it's organized, da, 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 da. Because it's not about actual, like strengthening Black people within the diaspora of, you know, the Black race. It's literally about trying to separate themselves and somehow separate from the rest of the Black race that is looked down on a global level, right? I mean, if we can be honest here, like, while we can talk about the struggles of Black Americans, and while I am in America, I am a Black American, I am technically FBA, the struggles that I face on a day-to-day basis as a Black man in America don't come near the struggles of Black people in Libya. They don't come near the struggles of Black people in the Congo. They don't come near the struggles of Black people throughout the entire global South. The way that Black people have been disenfranchised as a whole on the global stage comes nowhere near to the actual injustices that we're facing here today. And so while I absolutely think that the United States of America never accepted, loved, or cared about Black people, if you look at what's happening throughout the rest of the world, the global South, throughout the rest of the diaspora, trying to separate from the rest of Blackness is just trying to say like, well, these Black people, like they got all that other stuff going on, but us here, we're not so bad. Like, hey, if you give us reparations, then we'll be just as good as the next white person, while completely disregarding what's happening to our brothers and sisters throughout the rest of the world.
And see, that's the most problematic thing, because that is the greatest benefit to global YT supremacy.
Yeah.
Because if we had a focus, right, on making the diaspora in a better place, that would be a global change that nobody is truly ready for. And the problem with that is sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that's, capitalism is the worst thing that happens to the globe, because it makes everybody think that it's going to be a sacrifice to give somebody an upper hand, to be on the even plane.
Yeah, I think like people lack the understanding of class solidarity, right? And a lot of people think that in order to be better, they require more resources, and like a lot of people aren't looking to actually dismantle the systems that oppress everyone. They're just looking to flip the system so they're the ones benefiting from said system. They don't want to destroy capitalism. They just want to be the ones benefiting from capitalism, which is a huge problem. But to the bigger point of what you just said, I completely agree. Like there's a way for Black Americans, for FBA to get that actual recognition that they want while also strengthening the diaspora. Like those two things can be parallel interests that work together instead of saying we have to separate and we have to like make our own versus working within the diaspora. It's a weird thing. And a lot of people would like to say, well, you see these people coming in from other countries and they're getting things, or they're saying Black people this, Black people that. Like the amount of anti-Blackness that Black people spew at each other across the diaspora is mind blowing, but even more so, they parrot white supremacy talking points. One thing that I realized growing up, the way that Black people were actually portrayed, right? I'll find this, but I have an amazing video in the United States of America, right? The way that Black people were portrayed in the United States of America was not only satire, it was absolutely degrading, right? Whether it was the over exaggeration of like our features, our skin, our lips, the actual draw, the inference that somehow we were less intelligent and all this other stuff. In the United States of America, and this isn't like, I'm not talking about like in the 1800s or the early 1900s. Like you can go back to the time that like I was in child, like in the 80s and the 90s, right? But the premise that somehow Black people were less than, and they portrayed Black people within like even cartoons as like these caricatures of us. But then you take a look across the globe and you see how other places, other countries openly embrace Black people and portrayed Black people in such a different way. It's something that was used and weaponized to continue to separate Black people from the United States of America, from Black people around the world. They propagated the actual point of like, oh, these Black people from these other places, they don't like you. They think you're lazy. They think you're this. They think you're that. And so even growing up, I was taught like, oh, Africa, it's an entire country of mud huts, and people are filled with flies, and then they don't like you. And not understanding that like not only did the Africans not feel that way, but they loved us. They embraced us. Do you know why there's such a large presence of like Jamaicans and Rastafarians in Ethiopia?
Haile Selassie.
Say it again.
Haile Selassie.
Yep. And the fact that like there's a multitude of countries that openly in Africa welcome Black people back and said, Black people come back home. But we weren't told that here in the US. Like we were told like they hate us. And so like that type of anti-Blackness is perpetuated still today, where Black people like rail against other Black people because of the way that white supremacy has continued to negatively affect and also disconnect us as a people.
Right. And individually, I think that a problem among us, specifically in America and developed places, is that we don't see the parallels of what the motherland does. Mm-hmm. So to downplay like the mud hut, quote unquote, that's actually a beautiful thing, because that's something that to this day Black Americans still do. We always find a way to make it. We always find a way to improvise. We always find to do the best with what it is that we have. And that's a direct correlation to who the people that we've always been.
Yeah, well, it's even deeper than that. Think about this for a second. With indigenous people, when colonizers came to Turtle Island, right? Do you know what they use as justification for being able to like take their land?
Because they viewed their advancements as superior.
Yep. They said that they hadn't been good stewards of the land. They hadn't developed the nation as they should have. And since they had not developed the nation as they should have, then they don't deserve the right to the land, and they were superior so they could take the land. But the premise that just because someone isn't at A, B, or C standard doesn't mean that that's not the quality of life that they're looking for. That doesn't mean that that's the things that they don't want. It's literally trying to infer that just because, you know, I have an iPhone 17, that everyone should have an iPhone 17. Just because I drive a Ferrari, everyone should drive a Ferrari. Some people don't care about Ferraris. Some people prefer to actually ride a bike instead of actually driving a Ferrari. And so like it's an entire thing that has been overwhelmingly harmful. And like that's the big thing. So I'm gonna play. I got something. Hold on. Give me a second. I really want to share this video because I really want you to see the actual premise of what I'm talking about and the depiction of how this has actually worked. Give me a second. Can I? Yep, I can move this to my drive. Okay, uploaded. All right. Really quickly, let me get caught up on these, and then I want to play something for you because I want to play this for you. I want to play this for the chat. I think this is super important, and people need to see this, and people need to understand like what this actually looks like. Let's see here. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Megan. Megan sent a $10 donation. W's in the chat for Megan. Megan sent a $10 donation. I just want to ask about what's going on with In-N-Out Burger. I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know what's happening with In-N-Out Burger. I think he was just saying shit to say shit. Like, I have no idea, if I'm going to be honest. No idea at all what the deal was with In-N-Out Burger. W's in the chat as well for Jared for the $25, another $25 donation. Fucking go. W's in the chat. You said the election was only 115,000 votes off from Harris' victory, thenation.com. Yeah, and like people tend to like think that, oh, because Donald Trump talks about like the premise that he overall won every swing state and all this other like BS, but that's not what it's about. It's literally not about that. It's about the fact that the actual electoral college gave the victory to Trump based off of the people that were not actually engaging. So it's a whole thing. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that $25 donation. W's in the chat for Anthony for the $11 donation. Now this is a black ass combo. Well done. I know that's right. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that $11 donation. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 300,000 likes. We're so close to 200,000. We're going to go ahead and just say, let's get the likes up to 300,000 likes. Also, make sure that we're knocking out the daily gift goal. Right now, it's the Let 'Em Cooks. It's the Let 'Em Cooks, guys. Can we please knock out the Let 'Em Cooks? Last but not least, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. This is being...
I can't see your live goal. Let 'em cook.
Oh, let's see. Maybe I need to pin it. 1 second here. Oh, yep. I need to pin it. Thank you for that. All right, let me try this one more way. Give me a second here. Hey guys, do all the wonderful things, right? Right. Do all the wonderful things. I need you guys to lock in and do all the wonderful things for me. Let's see here. Repost. Profile. Okay, perfect. Let's see.
But
But honestly, Santana, and this is me just being real, right? I hope that our conversation right now is your bottom 5 for the rest of your stream.
No. This needs to be number 1. Like,
no.
When I tell you, it's been something that has been overwhelmingly positive in my perspective, something that overwhelmingly has been necessary, and like it's a good thing. It's a good thing because a lot of people need to hear this, and not only do a lot of people need to hear this, but a lot of people need to understand as a whole, like what we're talking about. Like, I think this is a big thing that a lot of people are missing out on. Give me a second here.
But feel what I'm saying. If our conversation right now is the bottom 5, think about how much more positive the rest of the stream will be.
And you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's that'll come from. And I've enjoyed your content from YouTube. I haven't been over here that much and have seen you, but I rock with you, brother. And I know this might not have even been the direction that you might have felt that it was going to go.
No. It's good. It's good. And I appreciate it. Let me play this video really quick, guys. So just FYI, this video is from the exact same time frame, and this is the way that Black people were depicted. At the bottom, this is the way that Black people were being depicted within the United States of America in cartoons. And at the top, at the same time, this was the depiction of Black people in cartoons in Russia.
let's take a closer look at how the United States portrayed African countries. This is the image that they show children. This is the seed that was planted in our brain about African people, completely untouched by civilization. Now let's take a look at the Soviet Union and how they did it. This is the exact same time period, but obviously there is a human aspect. A man smiling, growing crops outside of his home. The same people, but two very different stories. The indoctrination starts with the children.
So I'm going to stop it there, but like that's something that I really want people to understand and know. Like, it's been something that's been strategic. And not only is it something that's been strategic, it's been something that has been perpetuated, and it's been something that has continued to separate the diaspora, specifically separating Black people within the United States of America from other Black people around the world. So like it's all been intentional.
It's all been intentional and it's all been working.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the misnomer or the misguided view that the system isn't working, but the system is working perfectly fine for the objective and the goal of imperialism, capitalism, consumerism.
Mm-hmm.
Any ism that you can practically think of except for multiculturalism. Yep. It's working perfectly fine.
Yep. So I'll land my plane at this, and then I'm gonna let you go so we can move on. But the reason why overall I say FBA/Blaga is ashamed of being Black is not because they don't recognize or resonate with the term Black. They think they're more Black than anyone else. I think they're ashamed of the overall Black race, and their actions speak way louder than the words. The fact that they're willing to disenfranchise or even laugh at other Black people, like when Haitians had their TPS status removed, and Tariq Nasheed went on live talking about specifically, oh, you guys don't have what we have. See, we got equity in this country, and we've been here for a long time. So you got the temporary, but we don't got the temporary. We permanent. Like all of this anti-Blackness and the perpetuation and harm of Black people is literally going against what benefits the individual. Like the benefits of the whole benefits the individual, but they're so individualistic that they want to separate from the whole, understanding that it's not going to benefit them. So.
Right. Now I understand your perspective on that. And I agree with it. I agree with it. It was just on his face how I saw it. And,
no. Listen, I think your perspective has been amazing. And I think that like it's been really impactful and beneficial for us to have this conversation, especially for a lot of people who may not know, and a lot of people who've had questions, because I don't get a lot of like, obviously BLAGA or FBA that want to come in and debate me, because like it's easy to like spew the BS towards white people that may not know, but having that conversation within your own community is tough because we can call each other out on our BS. So.
Most definitely. So I hope you have a great, prosperous day. I hope everybody in the chat is blessed and have a wonderful day. Make sure you get back on that court too before next Saturday.
Yeah. No.
I saw the store.
Listen. I'm gonna go work out after I finish my live. I got a haircut, and then we got late nights tonight. But I'm gonna go get back out there today. It was fun. I'm sore, but I appreciate you.
For sure.
All right.
Have a good one. You'll be great.
That was in the chat for dialogue. I'm really happy that we're able to do that, because that's the type of dialogue that I've been looking for today. And I literally just don't want to do crash outs. I don't want to do crash outs today. And for some reason, MAGA as a whole is interested in crashing out. And I'm not for it. So only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Not a Trump supporter. I disagree with capitalism as a failure, and it's time for socialism now.
Okay, perfect. Floor is yours. Tell me why you disagree with it.
I just think socialism itself is kind of flawed, and it's never really worked out in the way that the people want it to work out. So I really just don't think it's a good alternative to what we have now.
Okay. So just to make sure I have an understanding of your premise, is it that it's not that you're pushing back on the premise that capitalism is a failure? You're pushing back on the premise that socialism is the preferable option to capitalism?
I would say capitalism is working perfectly fine. And also I would say, yes, that socialism, it hasn't, and I really don't think it will ever work out in the way that the people want it to.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Can we baseline a couple of things to make sure you and I are speaking the same language?
Sure.
All right. Can we agree and understand that there's a difference between socialistic policies and socialistic government and true socialism?
Well, if you have a socialist government, you automatically have socialism, because they would be enforcing socialism.
No. That's not true. Do you know what socialism is?
It's just a system, it depends on who you ask, but if you're just going by the basic definition, it's just when the workers own the means of production.
Perfect. Can you give me an example of a socialist governmental system?
There technically really hasn't been one, because there's never really been a system where like
not where the entire whole. I mean, like something that would be perceived as like a socialist program. I apologize. It's something that would, in the government, that would be perceived as like a socialist program.
So I don't know, a library.
Oh yeah, Yeah, actually, that's actually a great example. I never thought about that. Public libraries. That is absolutely something. And a lot of times I think about things like, Social Security or like SNAP benefits or things like that. But yeah, that's actually a great example. Now, last but not least, do you know what the true form of socialism is and how that differs from communism?
What do you mean what do you mean by the true form of socialism?
The actual true meaning and true form of what socialism is. Not, the owners and not the workers own the means of production, but like the actual true premise of socialism.
No.
The true premise of socialism is interchangeable with communism, and the overall functions of what communism looks to achieve. Socialism is just, honestly, if you really, really want to get down to it, while there are a few small differences, there's not much of a line between true socialism and communism. It's just that the word communism has been actually tainted by the Red Scare, right? It's been tainted by the premise that Russia or the USSR was a communist country and or China is a communist country and It's been tainted by the Red Scare. And so people tend to be more palatable for the term of socialism and reject the term of communism. But the true form of socialism and the true form of communism are pretty much interchangeable. And so if you look at any of the leaders of the communist movement, they speak to the forms of like socialism. So socialism is the economic structure. Communism is the societal structure. Fucking W's Ari. Yeah. So I guess the last question I would have before we really dig into like all the other things is, can you name any country that has had a true form of socialism or communism?
They haven't. I mean, like some people say like, oh, the Native Americans were like communists. I disagree with that statement, but I guess you could use maybe that as an example. But yeah, this really isn't any countries, because usually what happens is the leaders just kind of like concentrate power amongst themselves, and they don't do what they need to do to benefit the people, and they just benefit themselves.
Yeah. The actual premise as far as like the true form, people are saying Cuba. I will defer to like my communist friends on that one. I haven't gotten to the point yet of Cuba and getting a full understanding of Cuba and the actual premise of what they do or don't do. I know there's been a lot of debate back and forth about that, but I will say like in whole, no. Looking at the other countries that people try to point to, no. So like, I think the premise that like, oh, it hasn't worked or like it's been a failure everywhere, like no, that's not true. It hasn't been a failure everywhere, because if communism and socialism was such a failure, why is it that every time that any country or any people start to shift towards communism and socialism, that capitalism must sniff it out with imperialism?
Because the system is just inherently flawed.
Mm-mm. If it's inherently flawed, then why not let it die on its own?
They do.
No, they don't.
Look at Vietnam for an example. We didn't win in Vietnam, and now Vietnam converted to a capitalist. Vietnam is capitalist.
That's not what
now.
I'm saying. Whenever there's any type of true sense of communism or socialism, people who are preaching the goodness of capitalism, instead of just if communism and socialism is such a flawed system, then they would let it die, right? They would let it do its thing and just die. But they don't. They vehemently attack it. They look to dismember or disengage people who are like the proletariat that's engaging in that collective unity. They look to find ways to ensure that the premise of class solidarity does not continue to grow, because they need to stop it in order to uphold capitalism. If communism and socialism was such like a defective thing, then they wouldn't worry about like putting the energy and effort and resources into stopping it. They would just let it die on its own.
Yeah, just to be clear, what I was saying was that we interfered in Vietnam and then it did kind of just like die on its own.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like that bolsters my point. The American imperialism had to interfere in order to ensure that the ideology of communism, socialism doesn't spread. Like it literally has to infect it.
Are you talking about like Cuba, for an example?
I'm talking about any instance of the ideals and the class solidarity starting to happen. Hell, you can even talk about within the United States as of today. Things we can keep it very simple on a small level. What was the premise, or what was the point of like the Black Panthers?
Well, before I answer that, we didn't interfere in China.
China isn't a truly socialist. I'm sorry, a truly communist country.
When they were
socialist. They weren't. But let's keep it simple. What was the actual like point and reasonings behind the Black Panther Party?
Just equality, basically.
Yeah. They wanted the protection, liberation, and equity of Black people. They wanted to ensure Black people had access and resources, and they wanted to uplift Black people, and they wanted solidarity throughout Black people within the United States of America. And so the Black Panthers did not only engage in militant actions, but they engaged in things like setting up access to free school lunches for children, reading programs, encouraging like health and things like that. Things that would actually be considered like socialist ideologies, communist ideology. Who ensured that the original members and the original formation of the Black Panther Party was actually destroyed?
I don't know who exactly it was, but yeah, you could say that the U.S. government, like,
the FBI
assassinated.
Fred Hampton literally sent a spy in, was gaining information detail, not only on the Black Panthers, but, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, anyone who had any type of premise of like Black liberation and leading to the beneficial of the whole. Like they look to dismember and disenfranchise them, and specifically the Black Panthers, who brought so many social ideologies, or so much social ideologies to the community and taking care of each other. They had to snuff that out.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying that that was like the best way to go about it, but they were definitely like threatening to like violently overthrow the government and start like race wars and stuff.
They weren't.
They were.
Give me proof.
Hold on.
Really quickly, Joanna, do you have a second to come up? You got a second to come up, Joanna? Or are you busy? I don't know if you're gonna load. Not Joanna with the Trump mobile. I could have sworn, I'm sorry. I could have sworn I muted the mic. I apologize. I could have sworn I muted the mic. I'm sorry. Miss the RN. I apologize. I could have sworn that I muted the mic. Joanna, you're not fully loading. I know your signal. I see people like even gifting you, but it looks like you're still not fully loaded in yet. Jay, you want communism in USA? Yes, Jay, I do. And that's
So
because
you
you hold on, give me a second. One second. Jay, that's because you don't know things. Dang it, Joanna. Let's try again. Okay. Hey, Joanna, can you cover me for 2 seconds? Can you just hold tight? Joanna, can you do like a mod and everything? I'm going to run to the restroom really quickly, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Perfect.
Hey, happy people. Happy Sunday. Today started off a little rough, huh? But then it got better. Like that super crash out was kind of annoying. He crashed in, didn't know anything, and just wanted to get a whole bunch of stuff off, which irritated us all. I was over here punching the air. However, that last conversation was enjoyable, right? Because it usually doesn't go that way, especially when dealing with the FBA and having one of those BACs, aka the Black A conversations. Y'all know I will usually cuss, but I can't because my mama watching. Hey, Mom. It was good. I enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed y'all down here in the chat. I need y'all to keep doing all the wonderful things. Tapping, sharing. If you haven't reposted it yet, I need you to do that as well. If you're on YouTube over there in the past, y'all probably not going to hear this for another 20 minutes. But if you send a super chat, then Santana will read that out loud. If you haven't subscribed over there, I don't know what you're doing. You need the notification so you can see when we're going live so you don't miss anything. If you're not on YouTube already, make sure that if you hear something you like, if you have to step away and you miss something, the replays are always over there. Twitch, appreciate y'all. Y'all be beasting out every day. Y'all lit over there. I mean, you know, we're not really supposed to have favorites, but I do prefer y'all to YouTube. But my TikTok people, y'all know we locked in. The TikTok and YouTube beef is not going to stop. And I blame you because you initially instigated it. And it's been going this entire time.
Does not sound accurate at all. Anyway.
You did it. I have proof. Our lawyers are in the chat. They'll agree.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Guys, keep tapping the screens. Also, W's in the chat for Joanna. All right. Were you able to find that proof where you said that Black Panthers were inciting or saying that they were going to throw over the United States government and trying to incite race wars?
Okay, well, first of all, any socialist that is trying to establish socialism in America has to be inciting violence in indirectly, at least, because nobody's going to give up the means of production without force.
That's not what you said. You said that the Black Panther Party was...
Yeah, that's just a side note.
No, yeah, you said the Black Panther Party was actually trying to incite a race war and to overthrow.
That was just a side note. What I said.
Sure.
But yeah, Huey Newton was not found guilty of, but accused of unaliving police officers. So that's debatable. Malcolm X.
It's not debatable. If you aren't found guilty, then you're innocent. So like that's not debatable.
Okay. So do you believe Trump is innocent?
Innocent in what?
I don't know. Just anything he's been accused of that he wasn't found guilty of.
Wait, you're saying accused? Does that mean that he went to court, or are you just saying that people were saying that? I'm trying to understand because,
you believe if somebody goes to court and they're found not guilty, they're automatically didn't do it?
No, I believe that if you're sitting here trying to actually say that this is a thing and they went to court and they were found not guilty, then whether we personally feel something or not, there's no proof in order to say this thing was done. So the question I have for you, with you talking about Huey P. Newton, are you talking about these were quote unquote allegations that, people were throwing around, or did he go to court for it? I'm trying to get an understanding as far as he actually went to court.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he was found innocent?
Yeah.
Okay. So then your claim
that's
is
why I said it was debated. So I said
no, it's not debatable. It's literally he was found innocent.
Well, you don't really. Because you don't know if somebody committed a crime just because they were found.
I'm not saying whether you do or don't know. I'm saying the fact that he went to court and he was found innocent means that he actually has been judged in the eyes of the law, and that's not proof or indicative to the thing that you just said. And plus, I want to be very clear. Your claim was the Black Panthers were trying to incite a race war and also trying to overthrow the United States government. You literally said that.
I didn't say trying to overthrow the any socialist is trying to overthrow the U.S. government.
You're trying to backpedal enough to give you coverage to actually be able to somehow prove the thing that you said. But you said something very specific, and what I wanted, Dubs in Chapter Taffy about, I wanted some specific proof for these specific claims that you made. So telling me that Huey P. Newton went to court and was found innocent is not proof of your claim.
I said that they advocated for violence, and the U.S. government saw.
Give me proof that they advocated for violence.
And then there's also
You're saying random stuff, and also Malcolm X was not a part of the Black Panthers. So you talking about Malcolm X is also moot. Give me proof that they advocated. Malcolm X was not a member of the Black Panther Party. Give me proof.
It doesn't matter because
it does matter because you said the Black Panther Party. We were talking about the Black Panther Party, and now you're obfuscating going to Malcolm X, saying that Malcolm X was X, Y, or Z. We weren't talking about Malcolm X. I was talking about the Black Panther Party. No, I was talking about the Black Panther Party and the socialist ideas that they were using to try to better the community. And now you're trying to shift over to Malcolm X. Can you give me proof, yes or no, that the Black Panther Party advocated for violence?
They're socialists, so by default, yes.
Can you give me proof that the Black Panther Party advocated for violence?
They are socialists, so yes, by default.
That's not proof. Can you give me proof that they advocated for violence? I don't want to hear you saying by default. No, that's not proof, and I don't accept that. I reject it. Give me proof. Either give me proof or admit that you don't have something.
Bro, if you are a socialist living in a capitalist country and you want to convert that capitalist country into a socialist one,
what you are trying to actually portray. I care about you proving your words. Either prove your words or disavow your words. I don't care which one.
Do you realize, like, the whole purpose of you asking this question was
the purpose of me?
You were trying to prove
the purpose is you were trying to made the accusation.
You were trying to prove the point that
stop. I don't care about your feelings. I legitimately don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about you pontificating. Neither one of those things matter to me. What does matter is being able to continue with this dialogue. So in order to be able to continue with this dialogue, one of two things have to happen. Either one, you have to give me proof that the Black Panther Party advocated for violence, or number two, you have to concede that there is no proof that they advocated for violence. I want to continue with this dialogue, but one of those two things have to happen at this moment.
The funny thing is one of your mutuals, Noah, is actually saying that you're not correct.
I don't care about any of that. Which one will it be? Do you have actual proof, or are you going to concede?
You know, at this point, I'm just going to concede just to continue the conversation.
So moving forward, I don't care. I don't care if you're trying to caveat it. That's a concession. A concession is a concession, whatever.
Sure.
Anyway, so the premise of what I was trying to get across is that when you have any type of entities of socialism or socialistic ideas or the spreading of socialism, communism, class solidarity, those people who look to uphold capitalism continue to actually attack those different groups, entities, or people to ensure that that class solidarity does not spread. So the question I have for you now, you said that capitalism is actually working.
Sure.
Okay. Can you tell me how capitalism is working for the whole of society?
There's no such thing as a system that works for the whole of society. There's never been one.
So capitalism in the United States of America, is it overall beneficial to everyday Americans, or does it actually disenfranchise everyday Americans even more?
I would say it's beneficial to everybody. If you want to do something with your life, you can do it here.
How do you quantify that?
Well, I mean, like, what's something that somebody wants to do, and I can explain to you how they can do it.
I don't know what weird hypothetical that you're looking for, but I'm saying, how do you quantify the fact that capitalism is beneficial to overarching people, meaning that we can like gain from capitalism on an individual level throughout the United States of America? Because I actually have data and statistics that prove that capitalism has been overwhelmingly harmful to everyday Americans, including increasing the wealth gap, including pushing more people into poverty, including actually restricting access to healthcare, restricting access to justice, restricting access to food. I have actual empirical data, and I can back up all those things that I just said. And so overwhelmingly, my statement is capitalism doesn't help everyday Americans. Capitalism harms everyday Americans while benefiting the ultra wealthy. Now, do you have anything that you can actually put in front of me and prove that utilizing capitalism is optimal for everyday Americans?
But you just named a bunch of things, and it's like I would need to go by like talk about those things one by one, and that'll take all day. But
No, you're not. No. I think you're confused as far as what was the point of me naming those things. The point of me naming those things is to let you know that I have
that you can quantify it.
Yes. And so what I'm saying is I would like for you to actually name one thing that you have that you can quantify, because we're going to take a look at it.
Well, you can't quantify the wealth gap thing, because if you look at the wealth gap, for an example, if okay, let's say there's a society and like the richest person in that society, everybody lives in the same house, everybody lives in has the same type of vehicle, everybody gets the same amount of food, except for the king, who has the most resources.
I'm so confused what this has to do, like this hypothetical. I'm confused why you're using a
because I'm explaining to you how wealth gaps are not a way to quantify how well a country is doing.
Why are you talking about a hypothetical situation instead of talking about the current wealth gap within the United States of America? Why do we have to make up something instead of looking at what we actually have?
Wait, but why do wealth gaps matter though? Because if the richest person in the country is a trillionaire, but the poorest person in the country can still afford to eat steak and lobster, has basic cable, has an Xbox,
that's not
true.
That's
Netflix,
not true. Now you're literally just trying to.
Is that really like a bad country?
Stop. You're literally trying to infer things that aren't true. You see, this is the reason why you wanted to actually use a hypothetical instead of looking at the actual wealth gap in the United States of America, because you want to add in things that you can portray to be like, oh, this isn't so bad because steak and Xbox and all this other weird shit. No, stop trying to run to hypotheticals. Let's look at the actual wealth gap within the United States of America, and we can talk about the growth of the wealth gap. We can talk about the disparities and the people being pushed into poverty and being forced to actually work longer. And we can even talk about the fact that with the wealth gap, it's something that has been perpetuated by the United States government ever since trickle-down economics. There's a multitude of things that have a direct correlation and empirical data that we can talk about. We don't have to make up hypothetical situations where we're talking about Xbox and steaks. That's weird. No one cares about your weird examples.
How is that weird? What I'm explaining to you is how a wealth gap is not a great way to quantify.
Okay,
like
so talk about the wealth gap. Talk about the wealth gap within the United States of America and tell me how it's not a great way to quantify it.
Okay, because theoretically, if there is a country where the poorest people
wait, you're going back to theoretically in another country. God. I don't care about that. Talk about the United States of America and the wealth gap.
Okay, fine. We're gonna just go look at America. Mm-hmm. We live in a country now where people can apply for WIC, Section 8, they can apply for food stamps, and live a decent life. But we also have people who are almost trillionaires. That is a huge wealth gap, but the poorest people in this country, at least excluding homeless people. The poorest people. In this
wait. Why would you exclude people that are unhoused? Are they not citizens of America?
The problem is they're out. The problem is they're outliers, and
they're not. They're not. They're literally not.
Hold on.
No. See, you tried to actually You trying to actually exclude a portion of the United States population in order to actually make your point. No, because it's not viable. It's not viable. It's not viable. You cannot exclude a portion of the population to try to make your point.
Do you know why homeless people are homeless?
Medical debt, number one reason.
No, that's the top reason for bankruptcy. That's not the top reason.
That's the top reason for people becoming unhoused. The number one reason in America for people becoming unhoused is the medical debt that they accumulate that lead to bankruptcy, which lead to losing their homes, which lead to them being on the streets. It's literally medical debt.
There's a lot of steps
you can sit here and try to say you can sit here and try to say drugs or mental health or anything. That's not true. That's
literally is mental illness.
Give me any type of study or empirical data that proves that mental illness is the number one driver of people being unhoused. I don't know. I don't know if you've learned this yet, but I'm not going to let you say stupid shit that you can't prove, because I can prove every single thing that I said. I can prove every single thing that I've said.
Okay, so you think that every single homeless person or most homeless people who are out on the street right now are homeless because they're in medical debt and they just ended up right out. That's not what I said.
I said the number one driver for people becoming unhoused is medical debt. You said the number one driver for people becoming unhoused is mental health. Prove it.
No, mental illnesses.
It's mental health, you donut.
Mental illnesses.
I don't care about your lack of actual humanity. I'm saying it's mental health. Fuck off with your terms and prove your point. Stop running and prove it. God. Give me anything that says mental health is the number one cause for people being unhoused.
Hold on, let me see.
W's in the chat for Bryn for the $20 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much. You said, I support giving everyone an equal opportunity to compete. Where I differ is I don't think that race, sex, or other demographic traits should be influencing hiring or promotion decisions once candidates are being evaluated. Facts. All right, facts. Like literally, that's the reason why DEIA actually exists. Like those things shouldn't be the factors. W's in the chat for Dragon for the $1.99 super chat to say, where's your One Piece at? It's right there behind me. Deb's in the chat for Lord Tamaroshi for the $10 super chat to say, the more we are humans, the more we separate ourselves with these minute difference. I think you meant minuscule differences. The more the wealthy and the powerful constrain us. Humanity will not get to the Cardavici, I don't know what that is, level as a species without that being addressed. Yeah, like class solidarity. W's in chat for Trey for the $5 super chat to say, being unhoused does not mean you sleep on the streets. We always assume unhoused is on one type of person. Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's split. You putting a source in the chat does nothing for me, but just hold on for a second. I'll get the actual name. Addiction. I'll get the name and the actual source in just a moment after I finish this, and we'll look at it together. W's in chat for Trey. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, being unhoused looks like a multitude of things, not necessarily just like living on the streets. And W's in the chat for Daniela for the $1 donation saying, yesterday you mentioned Brad Lander winning. I don't know who Brad Lander is. He says that he's a liberal Zionist. Oh, no. He didn't win. He lost. He's a liberal Zionist. The left, DSA, after they supported the protests of Palestine, he said it was because at the protest, they quote unquote spoke about Hamas in a way that was just, he thought was vile. This words me. No. He lost. Brad Lander lost. Like he got whipped Like, it was bad. They completely rejected him. W's in chat for Alexis for the $1 donation saying, I nearly lost my house to being a single mother in nursing school. I'm still playing catch up today. Facts. W's in the chat for the donation. Let me check Twitch really quickly. W's in chat for Manders for the one chair bit to say, we need a mod on Kick. Lots of bot spamming. Oh, I'll go check that out. I haven't set up any mods on Kick. I got it. And then W's in chat for Mander for the one chair bit to say, even if he's right, is it okay that mental health leads to people being unhoused? Hitler was in waiting. Wait, Hitler is waiting with a pineapple for this week. Oh yeah, for sure. W's in the chat, guys. If anyone else likes support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up to 400,000 likes, please. 400,000 likes. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things, including, can we knock out the daily gift goal? We're still working on the Let 'em Cooks. Can we please knock that out? Last but not least, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. We're on our way to 200,000 followers. So please hit that follow button, turn on notification, and also follow my backup account, guys. This is the backup account right here. Follow the backup account because throughout this week, instead of being on the main account for debates, we will be on the backup account for debates. So if you want to catch any more Sparring with Santana throughout the week, you have to follow this account. We will be on this account right here, the backup account, throughout the rest of the week doing debates. So this account right here, follow this account as well. All right. Thank you so much for letting me get through that. What's your source?
Yeah, it's just arlingtonlifeshelter.org. How we help. It actually says the top reason is addiction.
Arlington what?
Arlington what? In the chat.
No, I can't get it out of the chat. Just tell me the title and then tell me the source and then tell me the title.
arlingtonlifeshelter.org, causes of homelessness. I guess if you Google that, that'll probably be good enough. But
what's the title?
Yeah. Damn. Where'd it go? Causes of homelessness. That's what the article title is. Arlington Life Shelter Causes of Homelessness.
Okay. Now I'm pulling this up, but just FYI. Have you looked over this study yet? Or have you looked over your source?
Bro, I just looked it up. In my sociology class, this is just something that we learned about. Is just
sure, that's fine. Have you looked at the source that you're giving me?
Doesn't briefly.
Oh, okay. So I have it right here in front of me. I haven't even did a deep dive yet. Just a couple of quick questions to make sure that it passes the sniff test. Did you check to verify that this is looking at a national view and not specifically for North Texas?
God. Bruh.
Wait, it's wrong for me to wonder if if the source that you gave me is talking about one specific area instead of the whole of the United States of America. That's wrong.
Do you think that I think one homeless shelter is good enough, my friend?
You think one homeless shelter is indicative of the entire United States of America?
I mean, one homeless shelter takes in what, like thousands of people a year?
You think one homeless shelter is indicative of the entire United States? One shelter in North Texas is representation of the entire United States? You
not
don't
an
believe
entire
that.
representation.
You're being disingeneous as fuck.
But if you're being disingenuous.
No, you're being disingenuous as fuck.
I'm being disingenuous.
Shut up. We're going to look at the source. I hadn't even looked at it. I was just letting you know, like I'm sitting here telling you.
You're finding a way to discredit it because you know I'm correct.
No, you're fucking wrong. I'm just telling you that if this study only looks at North Texas, then it's not indicative of the entire country. And that's stupid. But we're going to look at it. I haven't even started. We haven't been talking about, have we been talking about unhoused people in North Texas?
Hold on, but do you think that there's a homeless shelter in America Where,
Answer
like,
the question.
majority of
Stop.
people-
I don't care about your spam ass question. The question is, have we been talking about unhoused people in North Texas?
See, this is why you guys like socialism
Have
so much,
we
'cause you're
been
all
talking
dictators.
about the
You're all
homeless?
dictators.
You're fucking crying now because you're cooked.
I'm laughing.
You're crying because you look for something to justify this. The crazy thing about finding sources, right, is you're supposed to actually find sources and then create your opinion. But you stupid people actually create your opinion and then look for a source to justify your opinion. And then you don't even check your source. So
No,
we're going to
I
look
actually-
at your source, but I need you
actually
to answer
work
the
with-
question first. Have we been
I
talking
actually
about?
work-
Have we been talking about
I actually
unhoused
work
people? I don't care about your
actually-
I don't care about your anecdotal shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care where you work. That doesn't matter to data. Your job has nothing to do with data. Now, the question that I have is, have we been talking about North Texas people being unhoused, or have we been talking about people within the United States as a whole?
First of all, it's volunteer work. Second of all, do you think there's a homelessness?
Shut up and answer the question.
Do you think
Shut up and answer the question?
You're a dictator, bro. You're a dictator.
Yes. I'm a dictator. I absolutely am. This is my live, and I'm telling you right now, if you don't engage, shut up. If you don't engage, I'm taking it as a concession. I'm just going to kick you and move on. You're admitting that you lose if you can't actually engage. Now, the question is, have we been talking about unhoused people in North Texas, or have we been talking about unhoused people across the United States of America?
Reddit final boss.
Are you not going to answer the question?
You know, the funny thing about life,
I don't care about your weird ass, your cool story. I don't give a fuck. Or have we been talking about unhoused people in North Texas or unhoused people within the U.S.? If you don't answer this time, it's a concession.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, concession. Fucking concession. Fucking concession. Also, FYI, this actual quote unquote study that he gave me, probably the most common stereotype is chronically, I'm going to say unhoused people, is that they use drugs and alcohol with good reason. It's saying 68% of U.S. cities report that addictions in their single largest causes of homelessness, first house incentives are well-intentioned, but they can be short-sighted. A formerly homeless addict is likely to return to being homeless unless they deal with addiction. Treatment programs are needed to treat the root cause of addiction and help men and women find their way back to homes. So this is literally saying that 68% of people that are unhomed or unhoused deal with addiction. And if they're engaging with addiction, they are more likely to continue to be unhoused. That's literally what it was saying, but he didn't take the time to look at it. He literally didn't take the time to look at it. W's in chat for Danielle for the $1 donation sign. I Googled and multiple articles say he won. He won. That's not true. That's literally not true. 1 second here. If anyone wants to take a look, the National Library of Medicine, the actual the PMID is 325-13034. the presence of any medical debt associated with 2 additional years of homelessness. And they used the sample set in Seattle, where they talked about the medical debt causing the actual reason for people being unhoused, and then also the correlation as far as them continuing to be unhoused. If you take a look at the National Low Income Housing Coalition, there is a article, JAMA Network opens a published article on the impact of medical debt on housing instability. And this is from the actual research completed from 2023 to 2025. And it talks about the direct correlation between people who are in medical debt that become unhoused. Medical debt leads to bankruptcy. Bankruptcy leads to becoming unhoused. It's a direct connection. And no, Seattle is not the whole country. I said they used a sample set from Seattle. That's what I said. I literally said that. So if you want to play in my face, you can come up here and as a matter of fact, come up. I can't send you a request. No booze. Get up here. Get up here and defend your statement. Because I literally said it was a sample set. But there's multiple articles. There's multiple instances of what actually leads to people being unhoused. Not gonna come up? Not gonna come up? That's what I thought. Like I said, when it came to him, the question I had was this something that was looking at North Texas or the country as a whole? The funniest shit about all of this is that he didn't even take the time to look at it, because it talked about the correlation and the impact of drug use across the country. But he didn't even look at the shit. Like, that's the wild thing. He was just so locked in on trying to prove something. He didn't even look at a source that he tried to give. Noah, floor is yours.
Yeah, what's up, Unc? I just wanted to ask, have you read or listened to Eldridge Cleaver's interview that he did? I think it's like 97. I'm outside, so I can't look it up right now. But him and Bobby Hutton, who was another member of the BPP, they engaged. This was in Oakland. They ambushed this group of police officers with M16s, right? And I only bring this up because the Black Panther Party absolutely was for like militant insurrection, and they were pro-violence. One of the texts that the Black Panther Party studied was The Wretched of the Earth by Fanon. And the first chapter of that book is talking about the necessity of violence for decolonization, for revolution. Nonviolence was not part of their political program. You know what I'm saying? I understand why people try to like disavow it, because I think in like liberal spaces, violence is just seen as like evil all the time. But as communists or socialists, we recognize that violence is contextual, right? And we have to qualify violence. Sure, someone's saying it's self-defense. They definitely had like a bigger emphasis on self-defense rather than like militant insurrection. But there's also a lot of like ideological diversity within the party, which is why we saw a split. That's why we saw the emergence of like the Black Liberation Army in 1971. You know what I'm saying? But the idea that socialism doesn't entail violence is just not true. It's not historically substantiated. Socialism does require violence. The ending of these systems do require violence. We've never seen social transformation without it.
Yeah, I agree. And which the point that I was trying to get across is that while violence is absolutely necessary, and I understand with that, I even agree, the idea that they're advocating for violence sakes, like that was the point that he was trying to get across, is the reason why the Black Panther Party had to be dealt with is because they were just advocating for violence. They weren't advocating for senseless violence. They were advocating for violence in the sense of, one, absolutely protecting yourself, but two, in the sense of revolution in order to better everything for other people, not because they wanted to harm people, not because they were just dangerous and wanted to overthrow the government. And the weaponize and the necessity for violence within these movements to like further a talking point was the thing that I was pushing back on. I'm like, there's no point of me saying like, oh, violence isn't necessary or violence isn't part of revolution or socialism or communism. Like, I completely agree and understand that. But people who try to use it to say like, this is why it's bad. No, because violence is used in every form of society.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think what he said about socialism entailing the violent overthrow of the US government is like true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand he's using it and trying to use it like pejoratively to like delegitimize or to like render communism or socialism as this like boogeyman. But like, that is what socialist transformation would entail, is a violent overthrow of the US government. But yeah, I got you. I just wanted to clarify that about the BPP. Because I think when people speak about the BPP too, the issue is folks don't understand how much ideological disagreement there was within the party. And the fact that there like was a split. I see a lot of people try to speak about the Black Panther Party as if it was like one ideology that sort of unified the party. But yeah, and I think the last thing I have to drop because I gotta go teach, but like as communists or socialists, we understand that like the violence of oppressed people is never going to be like equivalent to the violence that oppressors have enacted onto us.
Facts.
But it's still violence nonetheless, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like, that's the biggest thing that I was trying to draw out, is trying to pretend that they were advocating for senseless violence for the sake of violence versus the violence that's necessary for revolution is fucking insane. Oh, I didn't know he dropped. Anyway, yeah, guys, let's see here. W's in the chat for J-Hops for the $5 donation, saying the impact report for that homeless shelters guests cited shows that they had 1,104 people visit their shelters in 2023. Right. And another $5 donation saying, so definitely not a source for all of the United States of America. And like the whole thing that I was trying to get across is, I'm not saying that there's not a connection or premise or anything like that, but like his entire point was absolutely moot, because he was trying to justify and say, well, if people just, he originally said it was mental health, I'm sorry, quote unquote mental illness. He tried to basically say the reason why people are unhoused is because they're mentally unwell, which is not the truth. Like, let's not get too far away from the point that he was trying to make. He was trying to make the point that the reason why people are unhoused is because they're not mentally well. Anyway, W's in chat for Sarah for the $1 donation, saying, listening to you on my walk inspired. Wait, listening to you on my walk and you inspired, LOL, 4K and 4K to go. Holy smokes. W's in the chat, Sarah. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donation, and get your walk on. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Sarah Bella for the $20 super chat to say, let's play this with the claim that the reason for unhoused is mental illness. How would that not be medical? Holy fuck, I didn't even think about that. Like, that's actually a fucking great point. Holy shit. Who's been sheltering shuttering mental health shutting mental health facilities and eliminating mental health funding for decades? Republicans. I didn't even think about that. Holy fuck. I didn't even think about that one. W's in the chat. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Anime King over on YouTube. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, I disagree with FBA is equals MAGA or black hate or whatever. I'm sorry, I can't see the screen right now.
It says FBA/Blaga. They're ashamed of being black. Are you black?
Yes. I don't think they're ashamed of being black. I think I had this disagreement in the chat is I think people put Black Americans in just as a big racial group and not accept us as an ethnic group that we are. We are an ethnic group. Yes, we are black, but we are also an ethnic group.
Everybody, yes. I think you're like, I think you're confused because no, like absolutely black is a race, but also black is an ethnicity. And that's not something that is rejected. That's something that's celebrated. And I think even more than that, right? A lot of people don't know the difference, but I'm not talking about the lack of quote unquote ethnicity. I'm talking about the separation of the race.
All right, but so are you saying that a Nigerian is a Black American just because he got his citizens?
I just what are there's a difference.
Basically, what I'm saying, how does FBA equals?
What did I just say about race and ethnicity?
You said that there are two different things.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Why would I call a Nigerian American? Wait, why would I call a Nigerian? Wait, why would I call a Nigerian? Why would I call a Nigerian American a Black American?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to why are you saying that FBA equals that? That's what I'm.
Yeah,
that's the point
we
of
can
my
talk about that, but I need to correct like your line of thinking or whatever.
Okay.
A Nigerian American would be his ethnicity, or their ethnicity would be Nigerian American, right?
Right.
But their actual race would be Black. Now,
okay,
like Black Americans, their race is Black, but their ethnicity can also be labeled as Black. That's a unique thing. And so I'm not talking about ethnicity. I'm not talking about nationality. I'm talking about race. And race is not does not actually stop with borders.
Okay.
So are we on the same page with the conversation now?
Yes, okay. We're on the same page.
Okay. So the reason why I say that FBA is ashamed of being Black is because the separation that they're looking to have with the Black race to other themselves within the Black diaspora. Them trying to break off from the entire premise and separate anyone that is not quote unquote Black American in order to gain, they say it's for delineation, but the driving factor is reparations. They want delineation because they want reparations, and they feel like anyone else being lumped into the category of Black dilutes their possibilities of getting reparations.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying you don't think that's true?
I'm saying that not only do I not think that's true, I know it's not true because one, when you talk about the transatlantic slave trade, it wasn't just about Black Americans. It wasn't just about the Americas. Like the transatlantic slave trade traveled to a multitude of places. And even some of those slaves that were Black slaves weren't necessarily brought directly to America. They were actually brought from other countries within the transatlantic slave trade to America. So that one, that's the whole thing. But two, talking about what race is a social construct that is created based off of the acceptance of phenotypical characteristics created for the othering of non-white people, right? And so even though, you can talk about a Black American or a Black Nigerian, most people don't know the difference. And so the racial impacts that affect a Black American in America are the same racial impacts that impact Black Nigerians in America.
So I disagree with you with that because that inflates that an immigrant and a American citizen have the same struggles, which I don't agree.
What's redlining?
Redlining is the government or the banks putting in certain areas to where only certain demographics of people can live in.
Sort of, yeah. Redlining is a financial practice to ensure a limit of social mobility throughout different aspects. And one of the common practices within redlining is the elimination of home loans and access due to racial category, right?
Right.
Does redlining affect Black Nigerians?
I don't think so, because black Nigerians, when they go for a loan, it wouldn't go under the same loan. You wouldn't even apply for the same loan in the same way.
It literally does. Redlining absolutely affects black Nigerians the same way that it affects black Americans.
Okay.
Do you know what a pulse oximeter is?
No, I actually don't know that one.
Pulse oximeter is a piece of medical equipment that is used to test the oxygen level in your blood. It's a essential part of medical treatment, right? The pulse oximeter has such a large issue because it does not read the proper levels within people's skin depending on melanin, right? So black people, it gives inaccurate readings for black people due to the amount of melanin in their skin versus anyone else. And this is a known issue within the medical industry. And instead of them actually creating a pulse oximeter that properly reads the oxygen level in black people, they just say, well, it only affects black people, so we're not going to fix it. Now, my question is, does a pulse oximeter work differently on a black American than a pulse oximeter works on a black Nigerian?
I would say no, but I would also say if I were to fight for the rights to make that right, I don't think a Nigerian would go out the way to do that, because that is not their parameter to do that.
I don't care what you think. I mean, we're not talking about whether your entire point of like saying whether they would or would not advocate for something is moot, because that's what we're talking about. What we're talking about,
I get it.
What we're talking about is the actual way that the systems affect black people as a whole, not on a individual level based off of your ethnicity or nationality.
Okay, I get that. I get where you was going with that.
The point that I'm trying to get across is, while you may think that there's some type of separation, it's literally not, right? I mean, yes, there are
Go ahead, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yes, there's cultural differences. Yes, there can absolutely be differences in the way that like these actual, one second. Hey, Nathan, thank you so much for the shares, but please, Nathan, you don't have to keep spam sharing. That only hurts live. Only once or twice is good. Once or twice is good, Nathan. Thank you. I appreciate the hell out of you, but you please, you're good. You don't have to keep sharing to like 1 million people. I appreciate you. Thank you. All good. W's in chat for Nathan. Guys, please don't spam share. All good. We're good. You know what's funny? Not that. There's literally jackasses that are ops that do it just because now they think it's funny, and I'm just gonna block you. All right. So this Kenny whatever guy who did it because they thought it was funny, guess who's getting blocked? You guys are weird. I say that, and then you start doing it because you want attention. Like I said, oh, don't do that. It affects the live. And so they think, oh, I can't actually debate him. I don't like that he's actually talking about factual information. I'm going to try to do something to quote unquote hurt the live. It doesn't actually hurt the live, you fucking donuts. You guys are such troglodytes.
Like that word.
Like they're so fucking stupid. Anyway, I apologize. The point that I've been trying to get across is that overall, the difference, while there is, why would you block me? Because you were doing that shit on purpose, you fucking donut, and I'm blocking you again on this account. Fuck you. So the point that I was trying to make is that while there could be differences in culture, there can even be differences in approaches to racism and how people are impacted. The overall premise and negative impacts of racism do not delineate black people.
I would say this. I don't think FBA is about delineation from black people. It's about saying that, hey, I am Black American.
Wait, it's literally about delineation from the black diaspora.
But even in New Orleans, where I am from, when I talk to other...
Hey, Anime King?
Go ahead.
It's literally about delineation from the black diaspora.
No, it's delineation to say that we are our own ethnic group.
It's literally about
everybody is
like
black.
this.
Everybody is black in the United States.
Did you know that
there is no
FBA has a
separation
website?
when you go to the consensus, right?
Did you
Am
know?
I wrong?
Did you
when
know
you put
FBA?
down your box,
Did you know FBA has a website where it talks about the history of FBA?
Yes.
And did you know on their website it talks about the driving factor, which they want delineation from the black diaspora?
Yes, under crime statistics and everything else. You like I don't understand why this is such a big deal when Britain had it itself.
My question
Britain
is that,
has
like, if I'm
Jamaican
sitting here
Britons
saying,
and
hey,
African Britons.
wait, if I sat there and said that they want delineation from the black diaspora, and on their website they say they want delineation from the black diaspora, then how in the world are you saying they don't want delineation within the black diaspora?
No. This is what I'm saying. You're making it seem like if FBA say, hey, I want delineation, you making it sound like, hey, I don't want to be black. Like, I don't think that's the point. If that was the case, then they wouldn't put black in FBA. They would have just made it something else like the conservatives do. Don't call me black. I'm just an American. Then they would have just said that. Am I wrong?
You're talking about an ethnicity. I'm talking about a race. That's why I kept telling you.
Race is race. It's never going to change. Just like when they was having a debate with Martin Luther King, they didn't consider black. They said African. Everybody was under African. It moved from African to black. That's okay. I don't think anybody's having a problem with being called black, or I don't think no one has that. That's not the argument. The argument is, why can't I be Black American, you be Jamaican, you be Nigerian, and we all be kumbaya? We are different.
I refuse. If you can't even engage with the premise that we're not talking about ethnicity, we're talking about race, and you keep bringing up ethnicity and nationality, you're not equipped for the conversation. You're not equipped for the conversation. We're not talking about ethnicity. We're not talking about nationality. We're talking about race. And if you can't engage with the point about race, this is not the conversation for you. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly and you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up. Let's get the likes up to 400,000 likes if you don't mind. Oh, lost that person. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay. So, Steve, would you like to tell me how is it today on June 28, 2026 that you still support Donald Trump, or did you specifically have something on the background that you want to talk about?
Do you know what a B1 visa is?
You mean an H-1B1 visa?
No, a B1 visa.
Just a B1 visa. No, I can look that up. B1 visa. B1 visa is a non-immigrant visa for foreign national travel to the United States, temporary for business. Okay, what about it?
Right. Yeah. Do you know what a confidential witness with the federal government is?
I'm so confused as far as where you're going with this.
Yes or no?
Steve, no, it's not yes or no, because this isn't your live. I need you to actually lock in and tell me, are you talking about the reason why you support Donald Trump? Are you talking about a point that you disagree with? And whichever it is, get along with it, because I'm not playing, like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I need you to explain, what point are you trying to debate?
What TikTok's true intent and what it was created for is.
Is any word on my background, does it say anything about TikTok's true creation intent?
Well, that would be the people like me that it was created for.
I don't care.
You know what a confidential witness is?
Steve, I don't care.
They have federal civil rights.
Steve, can you hear what I'm saying? I don't care. Now, either pick a point on the background that you disagree with or tell me why you still support Trump today. I don't care.
Because he understands what free speech in an app is. You just told us you have multiple accounts to receive your money, right? But you don't have an agency. Just by talking to me, you're violating my federal.
Violate these nuts in your mouth, Steve.
You.
Violate these nuts in your mouth, Steve. The First Amendment right doesn't apply to private entities. Now, would you like to tell me, hey, lock the fuck in, Steve? Would you like to tell me what you support him for today? Because the First Amendment applying to private entities is not a thing. Or would you like to pick a point on the background?
You're violating my civil rights.
I'm not violating shit, you fucking weirdo. You're just a fucking stupid weirdo. You're a fucking stupid weirdo. You're a fucking stupid weirdo that wants attention, and I don't care. Fuck off, Steve. Holy smokes, what is happening today? Like, I am not interested in this. You guys are being weird.
No, I wanted to violate his civil rights too.
I can get him back up here if you really want to talk to him. Like, he literally...
No, it's okay.
He's still here. He's still here. They're so weird, bro. I don't know what's happening today. They're being so weird.
Have you ever talked to him before? Is he like a new character?
I think I talked to him under like a different account. Like, it's... I don't know what's happening today, bro. Like, I legitimately don't know what's wrong with these people.
I'm actually kind of like curious to like figuring out what the hell this guy's talking about. Maybe I could just do that like later. I don't want to.
He's here. It's fine. You got it. If you got the patience, you can have him.
I'm just like interested. Like, what the hell is he trying to say?
Go ahead and speak up, Dean. You remember me. You received a lot of gifts when I talked about how you were a manipulator.
Oh, Steve, how are we violating your civil rights?
I'm a protected federal witness, bro.
What does that mean?
Well, you better talk to your fucking agency or your lawyer, cuck.
Okay, thanks, Steve. But how am I violating? How am I violating your civil rights?
It's gonna be your fucking accountability for running your fucking mouth.
This ice cream I'm eating tastes great.
It doesn't matter.
How am I violating your civil rights?
I don't fucking exist.
You don't exist, Steve?
Right.
Then whose civil rights am I violating?
Mine, because they're
just said that you don't exist.
Because of the federal government.
Well, if you don't exist, then civil rights don't exist.
I don't exist as a state rep, whatever you want to call it. I live in the federal government. Do you know what that is, Dean?
So do you like live under the Capitol Hill? You can just
shut your fucking cuck mouth, Dean.
Do you like live in like one of the closets in the Capitol?
I live wherever I want.
Hey, Steve, I'm muting you because like the language that you're using is going to get you banned from TikTok. Please bring it down just a little bit. Hey, just listen to what I'm saying. The algorithm is super sensitive. You can call Dean a meanie head. You can call him a weenie or whatever you want. But like, please try to change your language just a little bit so the algorithm doesn't kick you.
Particularly, what civil rights are we violating?
I understand. Are you over talking me because he was talking to me, Dean?
I was violating your civil rights again, bro.
No, you're affecting his life because he's the one that could sue you.
I'm violating his civil rights too?
Well, is he a confidential witness, Dean?
Well, you just said that he could sue me. What could he sue me for?
Well, because this is his house.
And?
Right.
What did he sue me for?
Yeah, you work for an agency, Dean. We already know that. We know all about your agency.
What's my agency?
Well, ask who's your lawyer so my lawyer can talk to them. You want my lawyer's name and number?
That's the
What's your lawyer
DNC.
going to talk? What's your lawyer going to talk to them about, Steve?
Well, about you having multiple accounts, instructing people how to go to other lives because you're dealing with a violation.
That's not illegal, Steve.
No, look up on TikTok what that's considered.
That's a breach of platform and TOS, not the law.
Exactly. That
lawyers
means
deal-
that your account will be banned.
Lawyers deal with the law.
Right. I'm a confidential witness because I worked in a certain area in the fucking government, cuck.
Steve,
Go ahead and block me. Block me whatever you fucking want, Dean.
Would you like to join my live stream later?
I knew
and
I would
finish this
fucking
conversation?
find you here. I
Hey,
knew.
hey, Steve, did you not hear what Dean is saying? Stop over talking. God dang it, have some impulse control.
In his house. This is yours. I'll respect what you say, not him.
Literally, I let my friend up here, and you're only back because he wanted you. The only reason you're up here right now, Steve, is because Dean wanted you up here. Like literally, you're the only reason he's here. I'm sorry, he's the only reason you're here.
Then he better figure out how to get a hold of me.
Would you like to join my live stream later, Steve?
I'm already a fan of your live, Dean, but you just don't know which account because that would be the person that does or doesn't exist.
Oh, wow, Steve, that was really informative and meaningful.
Well, in a court of law, it would be.
Yeah.
I would actually just hand you the lawsuit that's already been prepared for your agency to receive.
Oh, wait, Steve, I'm going to go live in like 20 minutes. In 20 minutes.
Care.
You want to join my stream and go through that lawsuit with me?
No interest in that.
Okay, no worries. Have a good one, Steve. You can leave now.
I could go and do whatever I want. This isn't your lie.
No, you can go.
What the fuck was that guy's deal, dude?
Bro, I don't understand how you deal with them. I'm telling you, I can't do the crazies. I don't know why you like that. I don't understand why you like it.
Just like to try to figure out like what the hell is going on with them, you know? How do they get from, you know, a childhood of school education and, you know, hopefully flourishment to like an adulthood of just like madness? Like I just don't get it. I always like to try to figure out how they got to where they're at.
You better stop because it's gonna like the brain worm is gonna get in your ear if you keep doing it. Like it's so crazy, bro. Hey,
So
how was last night?
Oh man, it was great.
Yeah.
We got to listen to live jazz for like 3 hours. Well, we had a little bit of a dinner and some cocktails. It was honestly like one of the best dates I've been on with my girlfriend in a long time. It was so much fun.
That's awesome. I know you were excited about it.
Yeah, that was so much fun. You want to co-host for a little bit while I work up my thumbnail and whatnot for my YouTube stream?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. FYI, there's a bunch of people in the request, and I'm letting you know right now, if you're in the request and you're not here for some debates, Dean is much more kind than I am. I ban people. I literally ban people. So if you're not here for an actual debate, you will be banned. Oh, FYI, I call you Bean here, and people get so confused as far as why.
I was wondering where that was coming from. I saw that in my chat yesterday.
Because people come up and they was like, "Oh, I saw you on Dean's live," and I'm like, "Who is Dean?" And then I started talking about. I was like, "Yeah, so I was with Bean the other day," and they was like, "Why do you say?" They're so confused by that.
That's funny.
All right, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yes, I disagree with the FBA's. I'm sorry, it went off the screen. What did it say?
It says FBA/Blaga, shame of being black. Are you black?
Yes, I'm black.
I don't know if I believe that one.
Do I not sound black?
Oh, I mean, like sounding black is not necessarily a thing. But what is a thing is the fact that
regionally,
like
I think I sound black. Oh, well, I don't do that. I think regionally I sound black. I'm from Florida.
Florida. So, okay.
I grew up in America. I think I sound like a black person who is from America, to me, anyway.
Got it.
But yeah, I don't agree with that. Maybe Blagga hating being black, sure.
I hear you.
But FBA's,
did you vote for Donald Trump?
No.
You voted for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, I'm a 92%er.
And you subscribe to the theory of FBA?
See, that's what I'm confused about. I don't really watch your stream to know like what your ideas are regarding it. Sorry, I was eating. I don't really watch your stream to know what your ideas are regarding it.
Yeah, being someone that is technically categorized as FBA versus subscribing to the ideology of FBA are two different things. Most people that subscribe to the ideology vote Republican because they think that they can hold the Democratic Party accountable without actually accumulating any type of political power, and like it's a whole thing. And so like just because you are someone, technically I would be FBA, I just don't subscribe to the ideology because they're trying to cause a rip within the diaspora, and it works against the cause that they said they stand for.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, that might be where there's like a disconnect, or like where I'm just misunderstanding, because to me, I just kind of view it as like a lineage of people. I do know there is like a whole discourse where people have like an agenda that's seemingly tied to that.
Yeah, it's the separation and the way that they prop up the conservative party. So that's where it's
fair enough.
All right, I'm going to drop you down then.
Okay, no worries.
Yep. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
We were dealing with us.
Yeah, I'm literally blocking you.
Bro, listen, if you want, I could just drop until
No, you're good. You're good, bro.
I'm not trying to
No, you're good. Like when I tell you like I have the patience for this and I do this, like you're good. I'm really like I would really like to get you a debate though, but these people kind of suck a lot.
Listen, I really don't mean to bring that into your stream.
Bro, you're good. You're good. Also, guys,
it's bad, bro.
Yeah, no, it's fine. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and we'll read that out. Hi, Elizabeth. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit. I kind of have a cold right now, but yes.
You're like 14.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Let's see here.
Mama, what you doing? Hop up on the table, Mama.
Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Hi, Dean.
Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No. Hi, Dean.
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and block you both up.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We will get a debate. Fuck these guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yes.
Yes, Trump supporter. Yes, disagree, a combination.
Yes. I disagree with the fact that you calling it, it's time for socialism. To that, to me sounds you want mass starving and mass unalivement. And people unaliving.
Okay, perfect. We can talk about that.
Sure.
We can talk about that. So the point says capitalism is a failure, time for socialism. Before we go too far, I do want to make sure that you understand there's a difference between socialistic policies and safety nets, socialistic governmental systems, and socialism and the true premise of socialism. Do you understand that?
Yes, you're a capitalist.
No.
you can't have socialism without capitalism. It doesn't work. It's the same reason why the Democrats socialists, they didn't get their own party. If you're a Democrat socialist, you're not a Democrat. You're a socialist. So this whole idea where the Democrats socialists are just going to hijack the Democratic Party, it's not going to happen.
The Democratic Socialist is the only actual positive polling sector of the Democratic Party. Like literally, they're sweeping elections and have the mass amount of popularity.
Sure. Why didn't they run someone like that when Biden beat Trump? Biden straight up beat Trump by being a centrist, popular, with a little bit of lefty ideas. He didn't beat him because he ran a left platform. He beat him because he ran a platform that the majority of America agreed with at the time.
He beat him because he was a white man that wasn't Trump.
Okay,
like literally
why don't you run someone like that again?
Any other white man that wasn't Trump would have beat Trump. That's why the only people that Trump has beaten has been women, or specifically with Kamala Harris, a black woman.
So who would you like to
your
run against
entire
him?
premise that it's because of it. Joe Biden was not a super strong candidate. He was absolutely a return to the norm. But see, the difference is between 2020 and where we are in 2026, people aren't clamoring for the norm. People are clamoring for active change. And that's why they're leaning into like things that Zoran Mandani is doing in New York, right? That's why there's multiple Democratic Socialist candidates across the country who are either leading or actually winning their primaries and elections. So the premise that there needs to be this return to some type of moderate level, people don't want a return to moderate level. People want change. The majority of Americans agree. The majority of Americans, I was literally just about to go there. The majority of Americans all agree on things such as universal health care, the access to abortion, and also a increase to the federal minimum wage. Now, there may be different degrees as far as who supports what, but all of those progressive socialist type topics are all agreed upon across the border within the United States of America. There was a YouGov poll that was completed. It was Pew Research that was completed saying 66% of Americans say that the government should cover healthcare. Hey, is that a socialistic policy?
Yeah, that would be one of the more socialistic policies.
86%, 86% of Americans from dataprogress.org says that the federal minimum wage needs to be increased. Is that something that would be socialist, increasing wages?
No, that's not socialist. That's just making government. That's just making.
How is that not socialist?
Be moral.
What about capitalism says that the workers need to have increased wages?
Well, they can increase it, but Santana, I don't know if $7.75 or $7.25, whatever it's at, up to $15. That's great, but is your life going to be that much better if it's, I don't know, if you're making $12 to $14 an hour? Like,
I think you're missing the point. It's not about me individually; it's about the collective. And if you if you can raise the collective floor, then it improves the overall for everyone, right? If you raise the floor, then it improves the whole of society. And that's what the socialists, the Democratic Socialists and these socialistic policies are advocating for, the improvement for the whole, not the ultra wealthy.
Yeah, but you can deal with the ultra wealthy in different ways. You can have, more authoritarian government with like gas prices, food prices, and things like that. I'm all for that, by the way. And a lot of Trump supporters
all for authoritarian?
I'm for authoritarianism economics. For example, Trump said a couple days ago.
Like, listen, man. listen, buddy. I'm a social democrat, so it's like I don't even necessarily agree.
But what's that even mean?
100%.
What's a social democrat?
Capitalism with a strong welfare state.
That's great. That's just a Democrat.
So when you say that you agree with authoritarian economics, what do you mean by that?
I agree with the executive branch, the Department of Justice, enforcing whether it's executive orders, Congress coming together, capping. I'm for gas price caps, food caps. Not crazy stuff. For example, if oil's at $70 a barrel and Shell has it at $4.50, you give them a week to change the price, or they're going to jail. These are simple things that the parties refuse to do.
Wait, so basically you're saying that you think that the state, the representation of the people, so the public, should be able to control certain variables of companies, such as the price in which they sell their goods at.
Yeah, the executive branch, but I don't want a whole bunch. I don't want a bunch of committees.
Yeah, buddy.
I want one person.
Yeah, buddy. You're actually a little bit further to the left on economics than me, dude. Not to say that I disagree with you, right? I think that the free market doesn't always produce the most efficient outcomes, but
I'm fine with
dude, buddy. You're like tiptoeing the line there.
Well, here's the thing. It's like
so the government, the representation of the people, so the public, controlling the price in which commodities are exchanged at. That's tiptoeing the line on anti-capitalism, dude.
Having an eye on it, you peek over there. Hey, what's it at today? Oh,
yeah,
Marathon has $5
in some senses, you advocate for like state-controlled industries.
I guess you could say that, but just having like an eye on it. See,
So
the
you're saying that like the
Democrats will never
state should
throw
control
anybody in
like all
jail.
major industries, right?
Okay, I'm not like a crazy person. Like
If you're saying that
a
the
week in
state
jail.
should control all major industries,
No,
you
not all
probably agree
major
with
industries,
Santana.
but when they're screwing people like the gas. That President Trump put a couple days ago a tweet out that he's taking a look into these oil companies.
How about like when they're screwing people with their wages?
Well, that's a little tricky because you don't want to get into someone else's pocketbook.
Isn't like controlling the price in which industries sell their goods at getting into somebody else's pocketbook?
Correct, but it's a mass. I mean, everybody uses gas. I don't want to go into a diner.
Doesn't every worker use wages in the sense that
Correct,
every
yeah,
worker
but
garners wage? So if you'd be okay with controlling the
$15 an hour,
prices
yeah, that's
of
fine.
commodities that are sold by major industries because everybody buys gas, well, therefore you'd also be okay with controlling wages of the workers of those industries because all workers garner wages.
Yeah, I already said
we can kind of just like reduce this down further and further until basically you're saying that the government should control, many aspects of major industries. And at that point, you probably would be a socialist. It seems like economically speaking, if we were to flesh your view out, you'd probably agree with Santana.
I mean, I'm sure on some things, but I don't have a problem with billionaires and trillions. Like, I don't care about that. They can still make their billions.
You don't have a problem with
they can still make their billion. They can still make their money, but they can't be boning you too hard. They can bone you a little bit. That's fine.
You don't have a
money.
problem with trillionaires?
No pause.
Yeah, like Elon Musk doesn't bother me. Like I don't wake up and be like, oh my God, that's just terrible.
Hey
But
man,
at the same-
listen. I think that everybody should have.
Does
a
it
problem
bother you,
with
Dean, that he's a
trillionaires.
trillionaire?
Yes,
but why?
It bothers me so fucking much, Tyga. It
Why?
bothers me so fucking much.
All right, how about the Walton family? You go in there, how much is a bag of Doritos? It costs 30 cents to make. They got it at $5. You tell the store manager he's got 1 week to get the price down or he's going to go to jail. These are simple solutions. We have so many, how many 3-letter agencies do we have that don't do anything? They do nothing. People care about price of food, gas, how much a new car costs, how much a new pair of tennis shoes costs. These are like everyday things in people's lives.
Well, you understand that like the outcome of an unregulated free market is like monopolies and trillionaires. That
correct. We got to
manage those
regulate it a
monopolies,
little bit.
right?
We got to threaten them a little bit. Not
Okay,
with violence,
so then you
just
also have a
the
problem
jail.
with trillionaires, right?
No, I'm fine with that. Okay, Elon should pay taxes.
You seem like
of course,
pretty
but
like incoherent, my friend.
Well, Dean, the problem with the Democrats is you guys will never actually do what needs to be done.
Wait, are you
guys,
not a
You guys won't
Democrat?
put people in jail. You guys won't.
What's
get even with these people.
your party affiliation, dude?
Alt-right. I don't really
Also,
have
just to be fair, when we put people in jail, Trump just pardons them. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, that was for the whole Day 6 thing.
So do you consider yourself a national socialist?
No, not. I mean, I don't, not in the conventional sense, but I just want the government to put these people, these corporations, where they deserve, and nobody ever does it.
Okay, so
not
basically,
violently, not any Luigi bullshit.
So basically,
just,
like fascism against like
a little bit,
major
fash.
industries.
Just a little fash. A little fash.
Just a little fash against major industries and like
yeah,
super
that's
rich
fine.
people.
That's good governance.
You just kind of sound like a confused communist, bro.
No fucking way.
Well, I'm not a confused communist because the social issues are a train wreck. But when are the Democrats going to put CEOs in jail? When are they going to do it?
They won't.
Well, why not?
Because
30-day jail.
Because
30 days in
moderate
jail.
Democrats uphold capitalism, and putting CEOs in jail actually takes away from the premise of capitalism. If you want someone to actually quote unquote put CEOs in jail, then you need to go further left. You need to go further left. If you want those people put in jail, then you need to go further left.
They collapse into each other. The further right you get, the more left.
That's not true. There's the horseshoe theory is not a real thing. It's literally not. It's literally not. You know why? Because when you go so far right, they want to consolidate all these things for specifically white people, right? But if you go further left, they want all the things for all the people. So like you can try to pretend.
Okay, reparations. Why don't we have every country that I've been to, I don't know about Europe, they have a government airline. Why don't we have a government airline for low income people where the flights are priced at a certain like $50? The government could buy Spirit Airlines and run it at a loss like we do the post office.
That's
socialism. Do all this other bullshit.
You're literally advocating for socialism, bro. What's happening
we could get
right now?
reparations in there. We could get the reparations going and no one would complain. Every country, every lefty country has a government airline. You could have a $50 flight and run it at a loss and give the reparations.
You're not even arguing against the point anymore. You're saying like this is how we make the point better. What's happening?
Well, we can have some lefty stuff, but you got to have a little bit of fascist stuff too, because everybody's happy. Do you think we're just going to start giving? I listen to Black content
like
creators.
a little bit of socialism here.
Yeah, a little like they want $1 million. A lot of these reparations people, they want cash payments. It's never going to happen.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And no, they don't. You don't know anything about the people that actually want reparations. It's not about cash. Sure, cash is a part of it, but that's not what it's about.
Well, I've heard they're owed $7 million.
You've heard this from
so for the most
TikTok.
part, reparations are a little bit more like structural, like addressing Black students in school being severely underfunded compared to their white counterparts, or attempting to like solve the dilemma and the issue of like a lack of generational wealth or neighborhood disparities onset by segregation. And
the government can't fix that though. It doesn't work.
Well, I actually disagree with you, right? So it's Santana, so anybody with a brain, but that's why like the vast majorities of conversations surrounding reparations are once again more structural compared to just depositing cash in a bank account.
And anyone saying like, oh, we want $7 million, like that's stupid because it's short-sighted. Just giving someone $7 million doesn't fix the overarching issues that Black people or people who deserve reparations. Because myself, I don't limit it to Black people. Now, I mean, I think if you're going to talk reparations, the starter is indigenous people. Right? Like indigenous people have to be made whole for the way that colonizers stole Turtle Island and then forced them into like small areas within the country. And now they get maybe a couple of tax breaks here and $1,000 stipend. So that's the starter for me. And so reparations has a large net overall, but also it's not just limited to money. And so just giving someone money and saying, oh, everything's good, like it doesn't fix the actual societal issues that we still face as a whole. Like that's
correct.
It doesn't work.
We could throw we could throw $10 trillion at Detroit, Chicago, and Baltimore in the worst areas, and it looked the same in 5 years. It doesn't work. You have to change.
What the fuck was Dean just saying to you? Did you even listen to the stuff that he was just saying?
Yeah, I did. It doesn't work. You have to change the system. That's why we need a little bit of fascism. But you guys aren't willing to go there. You guys want the status quo. You want $20.
I think you just want to be dominated, bro. Like I think that's all it is.
Well,
that you want to be dominated.
Are you saying that the only way to disrupt the status quo is through fascism?
I think he just wants to be dominated.
Well, sometimes, yeah. Here and there. What's wrong with that?
Dude, this guy's nuts.
Well, how are we going to fix it, Santana?
And not by saying we need to be fascists. Like, that's not fucking it.
Just a little fast.
No.
Just
None.
30 days in the jail will fix a lot of things. They'll be squirming in their jumpsuit. Those prices will come down faster than you know it. You put them in jail. Maybe even just a week in jail. Imagine the Walton family in jail. Or
and Dean, you got anything else for Tiger?
You got anything else, Dean, before I head out? Nope. All right, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm back. I just
good.
Walked away for a moment. You get some crazies, dude.
Bro. And normally I would have blamed that on you, but he's been requesting for the last couple of days. I just never got to him.
Well, actually, I think that I probably get less crazies on my live stream.
Less crazies per capita.
Like I just feel like because like they're in front of such a large crowd and they know it, that like the super like nut jobs, like they're a little bit more afraid to share that opinion super publicly.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I started doing the streams and maybe get a couple hundred viewers, it wasn't hard for me at all to find people that would proudly explain how and why they don't think women should have the right to vote. But with a larger crowd, they know that their belief is antisocial. They know it's going to get them pushed back, so they just kind of stay away.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go start my own live stream. I appreciate you for letting me up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you a raid because I got to hop off and head to the barbershop. So I appreciate you, bro.
It's kind of you. Take care, Santana.
All right. Have a good one.
Peace.
W's in the chat for Dean, guys. W's in the chat for my little brother. W's in the chat for Jocelyn for the $1 donation. They said, what's happening? Is this guy okay? He was not. W's in the chat for Shakira for the $10 donation. What up, SJ? W's in the chat for SJ for the $10 donation. W's in the chat for Joe for the $6 donation. And from the corrupt Dean and C. Appreciate you. W's in the chat for Darius for the $1 donation. Saying we should have asked Steve if Dean Agency's name is. I am not saying that because they will come in here doing this shit. W's in chat for Steph for the $5 donation saying, I voted for Biden because conservative Republicans voted for him. Then they voted for Trump in 2024. I'm done settling. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So MAGA has brought this on themselves. Absolutely. Fucking facts. FYI, guys, first and foremost, look up at the top. If you see that word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. We go live all the time. We're trying to make it to 200,000 followers. So please, 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 right there, hit that follow button, turn on notifications. We are also back with Late Nights with Santana tonight, which is at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Late Nights with Santana. This week, our topic is going to be intersectionality. We are doing intersectionality this week. So if you are interested in learning more about intersectionality, having conversations around intersectionality, Late Nights with Santana is your opportunity to join the panel, join the discussion, join the conversation, and have your voice heard. So if you are interested in joining the panel and being a part of the conversation, or even just learning more about what intersectionality is, how it plays within our society today, and how it actually even affects you, then please, please, please join tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Late Nights with Santana. We will be doing this for the next 4 nights. So that means tonight, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, 2 hours each, Late Nights with Santana. And you are the star of the show. You are the person that I want to hear from. So you don't have to be a quote unquote op. You just have to be someone that wants to engage with the conversation. One last time, Late Nights with Santana. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. This evening starts the 4 nights of Late Nights with Santana. W's in the chat for Trey for the $5 super chat to say, white supremacy, all of these Black Americans trying to other themselves from other Black people. Unity is what scares them, and y'all play right into it. Facts. W's in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi for the $5 donation saying Steve is the Illuminati. Yes. W's in the chat for Thick Frog for the $19.99 super chat to say, calm down, Dale Gribble. He was so bad. And W's in the chat for Trey for the $5 super chat to say, wow, because mass starving and mass unaliving is what we have with capitalism. Facts. W's in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi for the $10 super chat to say, these MFers in the wrong channel to be doing this stupid trolling. Right. Also, look into the Cardishevel. scale. I'm gonna check that out. Earth is currently at. Okay, I got a screenshot that because now I want to know what. Actually, let me go ahead and just type this in here because I want to know what that is. Kardashiva scale. The Kardashiva scale is a theoretical framework processed by Soviet astronauts in the 1964. Measures the civilization level of technology advancements based on the total amount of energy that is capable of harnessing. It's broken down into three primary categories, with subsequent expansion reaching the higher levels. Got it. And you said Earth is currently, holy smokes. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to check that out. W's in the chat for Lord Tomoyoshi. W's in the chat for Matthew for the $10 super chat to say W Santana. W's you. Over on Twitch. W's in the chat for Danielle for resubscribing with their Amazon Prime membership over on Twitch. All right, guys, last call for alcohol because I have to go get a haircut in exactly 8 minutes. Holy shit. Look up at the top. You see the word follow, hit that follow button. We are on our way to 200,000 followers. So please hit that follow button before you head out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up over on YouTube before you head out. Go rate Dean. He should be on by now on TikTok and YouTube. So head over there for some more debates. Spam, Santana love from Santana. I will see you guys later this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. Let's go.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, you slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat, guys. I love you. I love you. What up, Allison? W's in the chat for Allison. Guys, I love you. I'll see you later. We'll be back this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. We'll be back with more debates. I will catch up with you guys later. Thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. Thank you for all the gifts, taps, likes, and shares. Thank you all for being amazing. Thank you all for being you. I love you all, and as always, peace.